Howdy, y'all. TheGooseFathr here. The Stelle Tournament Cup, the first ever tournament with Stelle and the second tournament for the Bazaar, launched today. We got the pleasure of streaming 2SIXTEN doing his tournament run. This is a high-end competitive player, 1/3 of the Bazaar podcast team. And also was a major test player contributor, played the most Stelle runs on the test server, and probably gave the most detailed feedback. A lot of the major changes for this hero and why the hero feels so good came from this very player's play testing and feedback. So we tuned in with them to watch them do their run, to get tips and tricks directly from them, and to kind of cast their game. So what follows will be their 3-run attempt at the tournament. Tournament rules are the most wins. Obviously, if someone gets 3 10-win runs, they move on to the next branch. If there's only one 3-10 winner, they'll win the tournament. From there, there is a tiebreaker determined by the most unique items on your board, meaning if you have any duplicates, you'll lose points for that. Large items are worth 3 uniqueness points, mediums 2, small items 1. So on your first board, if you have no duplicate items, you automatically get 10. But on your second board, if you repeat any items that are on your previous board, you lose their size equivalent of points for that. So the way to get a perfect would be 3 10-win runs, followed by not a single duplicate item on any of your 3 boards. And from there, if multiple people do that, it will be broken by the person with the most total prestige at the end. There are 2 different qualifiers. There's Stelle only, and then there's mixed player, where you can play any hero set that you want. So that is the tournament rules that we operated under. It was a really fun tournament. I hope you enjoy the cast, and I hope we get to do this again. But thank you, Sixten, so much for showing us your awesome run and teaching us so much about how to play this really fun, amazing new hero. Have fun, my friend. Good luck.
Thank you so much.
All right. We are muted with Sixten. You got Andy as his opener. There's a couple of really good small starts, but unfortunately, it's really the medium items that are going to determine what your long-term game plan is. So shopping at Andy right away. Oh man, he found headset, which is huge. This is a hedge into like every single line in the game. So that's very big. That's the reason he re-rolled. That being said, it is the medium items that kind of let you decide what build archetype you're going to go for. You saw he skipped Curio because that doesn't help. He went for the medium item in the crate, which is a good way to, like, if nothing else, it's income, but it does possibly tell you what your line can be. He's got Kite, which is useful in the start.
All right, this is a decent start.
Yeah, I think that
hoping for a balloon engine.
If he gets a balloon engine
or a free fall simulator,
or something else,
but this is exactly what I was wishing for. Stop start day 1.
Yep. The Kite for free was pretty big. He hasn't hit middle yet. He got Curio out of the way, which is a bit of a whiff, and he got the Kite instead of Curio. So that's a really good setup. Hopefully he dodges like Midsworth, who does not have the chance at medium items, and maybe gets middle JJ or what's her name? Oh God, why am I forgetting the tiny one? Anyway, one of the 3 of them that can have the medium items for the main line. Also get some fire just in case he ends up in one of the burn lines. That's why he went for this. None of the other monsters really had much for him.
Very good when you play the tool line, but I'm not gonna play the tool line here. Since I don't have Ball Blaster, which makes lighter considerably worse.
Okay.
And here is the issue. So when you play stop start, there aren't too many weapons that I'm looking for. Like Karakara is fine. Aerial turret is decent with Kite, I guess. Then there's 4 gold here, but I also need a full board.
Yep. I'm a little nervous Sixten's going to be worried about
there's also
vocalizing
Box Cutter, which I can grab before I level here. And it becomes 20 damage, which is quite a lot for day 1.
Because it is going to slow him down a decent
No, I'm going to play it safe here.
Remember,
this is actually really hard because gold is
hear me.
Extremely important on Stelle. And Island cannot have my free fall or my balloon engine, which is what I'm hedging for here. But if need be, I can sell them. Sorry, I can sell the weapons I buy here and just... Oh, God.
So he's got 2 tools and Molten Ball Blaster. That might just be the line he has to go for here.
Well, I am happy, but I'm also angry. I think Goose will understand here because that is just
So
very
this
strong.
is an amazing opener for Molten Ball Blaster,
Yes.
but Sixten talks
okay.
about not wanting to do this line. It
I cannot
specifically is
complain here.
hard to hedge in other directions.
That is insane.
So his day one is on fire, but he does not.
And that is so...
Yeah,
okay, we
there
have a
we
lighter.
go.
Okay, I see.
He has all the tools. He has a small burn item.
And
He
that is
has
a toy.
extra
We can get
burn on
another
his
skill
Molten
here
Ball
if need be.
Blaster.
Let me look at the board.
Yeah.
Holy cow.
So he's setting it up.
This
He's
is
got a
an
great
insane
day
day
one
one.
here. I'm going to mute him for a quick second for the rest of you so I can talk over
So
for real
income
quick.
is also really valuable long-term on Stelle. The issue with skill is that my struggle isn't power. It is making sure I have enough tools on the board and making sure I have gold, right? So sure, I can get like more burn, but that isn't the issue. Although a skill is really strong.
Stocking out his lines.
Let's go with skill.
No, this is, everybody who's watching, this is Sixten, 2SIXTEN.
Okay.
He is the most experienced player on...
He's in the top 10% of my day ones. At the moment. For sure.
He's saying he's got an amazing day one start. This is an incredible day one start. All of his tools deal damage or burn.
There is no way for a pig to beat this on day one.
Should not.
No, I don't.
I can't think of a board.
I don't see a way a pig can beat this.
No. He's got this. He's got this for sure. There's not even combat scaling. There's damage scaling happening on the golf clubs of his opponent, and a little bit of regen scaling. But just look at the amount of burn that this board puts out. For day one, stacking burn at all is pretty good. Lots of flat damage.
Well, I spoke too soon.
That regen is huge, though. Kind of surprised.
Burn should be stacking, though.
It is stacking, but the cleanse from Bushel is hurting him quite a bit.
I underestimated my opponent here.
I did too, to be honest with you.
Actually... Oh, man.
This should close it out, hopefully.
Wow.
Oh, it's so close. Oh no, he gets beat here.
Okay, never mind.
Both misunderstood this pig.
I cannot believe I lost with this day one.
Sixten is currently louder than me. Okay, thanks. I'm gonna tone him down a little bit. Okay, we brought him down a little bit. That's super disappointing. So the issue with this line
is that it's really strong early. So you can get like 7 wins for free. But if you don't win day one with it, then it doesn't really serve a purpose here. So we are in trouble now for sure.
Yeah, that's really unfortunate.
The strongest day for this line.
So the biggest thing Molten Ball Blaster has going for it is the burn. And that bushel was charged up, which meant that it was actually doing a decent amount of cleanse, which kept him in the fight. He also had extra shielding happening on his small item that goes every 4 seconds. He had the shield skill, which was putting extra shield there. And so surprisingly, that like stopped the burn enough for him to have time to cleanse it without it doing too much damage. I deeply underestimated that board too. I'd played that board a lot, and I would have been terrified against this Molten Ball Blaster board. So a little surprised. He is trying to figure out what his cross line is here. He wants to move over now.
This is a hedge for stop start, but it's an expensive hedge. I don't think I can justify it. I was really hoping for tools here. Very expensive vendor. Okay, middle is amazing though.
Yep, he's got to go for middle.
That's great, and then I need to reroll for this upgrade. I have to force it, I think. But
I don't have the money for it.
It's fine. We can just
yeah, I think he has to go. He does not have the money to sell off to buy, even if he found it.
All right, Aetherite. I lost a lot of confidence after losing to that pig.
Yeah, unfortunately, that was a lot.
Surely I beat Aetherite.
We'll see. I also think his board is stronger.
I see what the mistake I made now. Okay, the mistake I made was that I thought this was a tool for some reason. Yeah. Okay, never mind.
Oh,
I take back what I said on day one. Having a non-tool on the board with Ball Blaster makes it a lot weaker. That makes sense, actually. Okay, I see why I lost now. It's just blended in here as a small weapon tool,
it
but
did to me too. I did not
it's only
notice
a weapon,
that.
so
Now he's still
goggles
stomping
would be
ether,
great as a
right?
tool. Would love ticket as well. Everything here except for barbed wire and scrap is amazing.
So this shows you kind of how his board was against somebody who didn't have the cleanse. So the 40 heal bushel on day one with all the regen. The other thing is bushels is stacking regen, which is incredibly strong on day one. The force field line, interesting. There are a couple of Stelle force field builds. So this is a move that advanced players play. A lot of newer players do not. Borrow is massive. 9 gold today. You get to leverage to things like buying that toolbox, which is going to give you more tools over the course of the fight, upgrading it so those tools come in at silver. The more tools you have on your board for a Stelle board, it's very important. The only encounter Stelle gets where she gets extra golds given to her is a level up reward on the
And this is
right
hard. So
that gives you
I'm sure
gold
Goose
for
will
each
explain it as
tool
well,
that you
but I can
have.
also just mention it. Isla has the coveted upgrade here, which is 10 more burn. And it's not that unlikely to see it. This is a guaranteed small tool.
Yeah, there's a silver
There are
small
no other
tool,
new tools here for me. I already have the small
weapon
tools.
tools. And he's
So
already running pretty short since he's
what
has
would the board look like?
one weak one.
Let's see. You are a tool. It would look something like this. That makes the silver tool. Oh, I also need a tool here. Oh gosh darn, this is hard.
Yeah, it is hard. The upgrade's a lot of damage. I honestly think the upgrade is more power for him.
This silver upgrade would make me so much stronger.
Than just the tool line.
And
Absolutely.
the silver tool could be an orbital polisher if I'm very unlucky, and then it's a dead item. I also have strength here.
Hey, Space Money, thanks so much. So I didn't notice the chat. And so apparently Walter was correcting me
tough.
even while he's competing in the tournament. So that's
if I have to go here. The upgrade is too valuable.
okay. He makes the move. I agree with it. Angle Grinder's just 10
interesting
flat.
Here, actually. The issue with it is that this will make tools fly as well, so it could take a really long time for it to actually pop off.
Yeah. He doesn't have a way to isolate turret. You need to get turret in the air as fast as possible.
Grab this because I feel so weak, and every bit of damage can matter. Darts is actually a consideration as well.
I don't know that it is. I guess he's debating going over the clockwork disc just because every third hit it crits.
There's a turret.
I still think that that's just too expensive.
We cannot find it there. Yeah, joystick is a tool we could have utilized with that one.
I think he's just got to send it.
Should I buy it?
That's a hedge into a mid-game line.
It's kind of
that he's not built for yet.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So it's a 1 in 6.
That is not a good play.
If I buy this, I'm saying there is a 1 in 6 that this just wins me the next fight on its own. If it starts flying on the first cast here. So is a 1 in 6 worth 2 gold?
Yeah, that is the question.
Of course, it can also be 10 seconds into the fight. That's much more likely, less likely to win me the fight, though.
Yep. He only has.
This is really hard.
Yeah, if it doesn't get up in the air,
though. I have enough cash.
He is going to do it. Okay, interesting. He does have.
And there it is. Thank God. Okay.
Okay. He doesn't need it, but it is going to go on his board. It's better than what he has.
That's also very strong, actually.
Yeah, could easily go Gatling gun because he has the. Okay, hold on. I don't think he should keep hedging here. I think he needs to start building
really strong
out.
With strength.
It's hard to say. I think that first loss is shaking him a little bit. He can't afford to lose another, so he might be over investing.
So another question is, and apologies, Goose, if I'm talking too much. I just like, I might be more quiet later, but just want to explain here. So I have a very strong line here, right? But this is a future line as well, Gatling gun. You can play that with Kara stuff. So the question then is this worth the investment?
I'm a little nervous for him that I know he he is a teacher at heart, Sixten. This is why he's doing this. This is also why we have the guide.
I
If
think
you
the answer
exclamation
is
mark guide for the written guide, Sixten helped
yes,
put it together.
because I need to get 10 wins.
I'm a little nervous that this much attention and that
Then the question is, do I want 10 more damage as well?
slowing his time, because he does only have 1 hour per run.
And I think the answer is yes. I need to win this day. If I cannot win day 2, I've lost. I've lost here. Oh, that's the worst hero to face on day 2. Okay.
Okay.
The problem here is that I'm squishy. I have no regen, I have no defenses. It is very easy for Dooley to burst you down.
But there's nothing you can do.
I could easily lose here.
You gotta just send it.
I will have more DPS than him eventually, but it's gonna take time.
Yeah, the Gatling gun specifically after it swings the first time.
Yeah, he has a lot of DPS. He did put his left-handed on the wrong item though. I mean, not necessarily because the Uzi only has 6 ammo, but that might buy him enough time here. Let's see. Yeah, we should be fine.
He's
okay,
fine.
Nice.
The 20 burn is insane from the silver. That is a comfortable win.
But yeah, left-handed on like a silver Uzi, and I'm terrified. Add 5% crit chance on that thing, and yeah. But that was a fairly weak Dooley though. And as you can see, these are doing stuff for me.
Yeah, definitely. So now what Sixten's got to focus on, I'm going to mute him for a second.
So I think on day 3, I'm going to try and be quiet and just let Goose commentate.
Okay,
so
he's actually telling me he's going to be quiet and he's just going to start playing the line. So I'll go ahead and start talking. So now what you have to do on this build, one of the hardest things for Stelle is money management. You have to have at least 24 gold available after you sell everything, ideally before you sell everything. So making sure that you get your gold online is super important. You also are going to want to pick up chocolate bars when you can, because you are going to be face racing against other aggro boards, other Stelle boards, and those chocolates are a pretty big difference. So he's got to do a couple of things here. He has to keep getting enough tools to fill up the board. At some point, he needs to get that clockwork disc off the board. Ideally, he also will get the machine gun off the board and swap it out with more tools as activators for Molten Ball Blaster. He's got to put together enough money that he has 24 gold at least to buy 1 large carry item should he start seeing them on day 6. And then he has to like keep upgrading the then he has to start hedging into alternate lines. The biggest problem with the Molten Ball Blaster line, this is super interesting play he's doing here. The biggest issue with the Molten Ball Blaster line is that it does not naturally synergize with anything else other than there's a slow tool fly variant that that still is going to require several flying pieces in order to get to. So he has to maintain his board, so getting upgrades here and there to do so, fill out the board, get a couple more tool items, start hedging for the flight line, and have 24 gold available. So that's one of the biggest problems. Now, he should, it doesn't always happen, but there's a decent chance that he will see the level up reward, which gives you money for each tool. And that's one of the ways this line gets out of trouble. He's going to go ahead and upgrade the toolbox here, so he starts getting silver items. This is just an extra gold every single day. It also is items that are going to fill out his board. It's one of the ways he could just pick up a free calipers. It's a very big move. Going to upgrade his headset because that's one of his big hedges long term. So Ornithopter is going to, the item that he put on the right of his board is going to pick up his Gatling gun and take a second off of its cast speed, or whatever he puts right next to it. And then headset is when Ornithopter does that, it's going to get hasted. So yeah, so that's what he's building around right now. He has the eject button, which will stop a flying item. Doesn't really matter too much. It's just there because it's an active tool item. Debating Steam Washer can go into this line, but is not something he should hedge for. Debating he might try to sell off for drafting table so that he can accumulate more wealth over time, because drafting table also will give you items. I don't think he's going to do that hedge here because he'd have to sell important stuff for it. He's going to go ahead and leave. And then we're going into a Mac fight here. He's debating aerial turret. So he can get aerial turret up in the air, and then aerial turret reduces its cooldown as it goes. But machine gun does a similar thing. At 6 seconds, it swing twice and becomes a 3-second item. He's going to go ahead and do both here. Get aerial turret in the air and run machine gun. Less activators on his Molten Ball Blaster, but just more general weapons that are utilizing that strength skill. I'm a little curious about this line, if I'm being honest with you. I thought he looked really strong before. Then again, I think he's relying a little bit less on burn because Mac has the regen to kind of counteract like slow working, and he just wants to face rush and keep putting perpetual damage on Mac so that he can get through the regen here. This is horrible. Where's the 100 gold or 100 value item in the stash? I know. Stelle is not pig. She plays, it's a poverty run the whole time. He's slowly going to start kicking out silver tool items. And again, we're hoping for an upgrade. Getting the money per tool would be huge. That would set him up. And then he doesn't have to worry about money as much for the rest of the run. I mean, it would really set him up to like already have his pivot set up. So he's just kind of checking out the opponent board. The opponent is a crit rug board, could theoretically get rug up to 1 second, but he doesn't have any extra crit chance, so it's not likely to happen. And Sixten is speeding up. Oof, that was a lot of burst from the opponent. Honestly, a little bit surprised. I'm not sure I saw that coming.
Yeah, the ghosts today have been crazy, man. That's insane.
They really have. Yeah, a lot of poison damage. The letter opener critting. Obsidian. No, that's not obsidian, but still, it's a golden letter opener. Probably got chocolate bars and did a Nope, you don't have reroll yet. I'm not sure how he got to golden already on day 3. So Sixten's starting to debate what he's going to do here. Going to Andy, has some upgrades for some of the hedge lines, has some tools. He might just go get a free tool and some money. Probably the best line. He has 2 days left to not be poor. Barcoon could have the upgrade, but that's going to be a very expensive upgrade to Molten Ball Blaster. I think he correctly picks Finn here, trying to go for just starting to get hit points so he could win the races a little bit better. He now has 2 those are actually both weapons utilizing strength and tools. They're great, so having 2 of them is great for the Molten Ball Blaster build. I wonder if he's gonna move out of this aerial turret pretty soon once he picks up a couple more tools. I think just spamming Molten Ball Blaster, yeah, look at how slow Molten Ball Blaster is with just 2 tools as activators. I think that's a better carry than the other things he has. Obviously he's running the wide items right now against a Hexa, because a Hexa turns your small items into things that poison you. But an easy pickup there.
Considering if this is more damage, this goes down to 1 eventually, which makes this less useful. I think that is probably better.
I wonder if he shouldn't drop it and move into the tool line completely. Like, I like the machine gun here. I'm not sure I like the aerial turret.
Choco is really good here.
He is going to have to sell off and make space. He's probably going to get rid of Clockwork Disc because that's not a weapon or not a tool.
The issue, though, is
I think maybe you get rid of aerial turret here and just move into the tools.
The issue is with selling these items.
Yeah, these are all hedges, and also he wants to hold all of the tools just in case he gets that level up that we talked about. That is like a huge amount of gold. Now, again, I think he's forgetting that disc is not a tool.
At least.
Disc can easily go. Oh, there he goes. He saw it. Okay, so he is 1 heavy here. I would personally probably get rid of the aerial turret, but he's going to go ahead and get rid of Chris' Army Knife. He's got the chocolate bars. He is going to spend the 10 gold on it. This is correct. Unfortunately, when you're playing a tempo play, you just have to do everything you can to have a little bit more hit points than your enemy. He's thinking about long-term hedges. There's a couple of builds he'll go into, like Swallowtail, that would be able to utilize the shield. Fiery will help him now, but there's only 1 later online that's going to use that. You don't typically transition from this into the burn line because the burn doesn't go late. This would transition just into the oh, I always forget this. The large flying item with multicast for each other flying vehicle you have. But that's the only place it's gonna hedge. Yeah, he goes ahead and goes for it. This is short-term power, but again, it also does open him up for one more line as a late game pivot. I'm actually on my screen going to see if I can pull that up to get the name, because unfortunately, one of the hard things here is just not knowing all the names of the things because we haven't been playing these. Skyliner is what I'm thinking of, sorry. That the burn also does hedge into Skyliner. Paper Airplane is a huge flying hedge. It's a start-stop activator, as is Animeter. That is big, but that is all of his money. Getting this means he gets to move into a start-stop line whenever he wants to, which is fantastic. But it also means that he is just going to have a hell of a time getting enough gold together to buy something. He might have to like sell his whole board to move into a large gold if he sees it tomorrow. I think the other thing is Animeter, while good, is a little redundant to headset, which he already has on his board. So I'm not sure if it's worth it. I also think that headset might not be worth running today, is we're thinking about, because it's only giving a little bit of haste. Yeah, I think it's redundant to headset, so he could sell headset. It's hard to pivot out of the ball
blaster here when I've invested so much into it. And I don't know if I can sell it already. But I don't want to sell these either.
I don't think you can. You can theoretically run a line.
That's a hard choice.
Where you're just focusing on aerial turret. Yeah.
And in the future as well. Okay. Let me think.
It is a tough call here. Honestly, I think selling lighter and going for it might be a play.
Like? Oh, it's going to be really hard to fit everything if I do this. Do I cut the ball blaster? I don't
think that's enough damage
really hard.
today.
I don't have that much damage on these two. I'm missing a Karakara here.
Yeah, I honestly would like to see him lean a little more into the tool line, getting more tool procs. That headset's only giving haste when those two items get off the ground the first time and then never again.
Has to be.
Now, their first swing getting into the fight is important because it procs them both to get faster.
Do I make myself stronger if I remove this?
I am. Yeah, he knows this line better than I do.
This scales crit.
It does. It self-scales.
Okay, you know what?
Oh, he's going to go for throwing ball blaster to move into the board. Now, this might cost him today, but he is significantly better set up to move into multiple other lines later because the tool line just kind of dead ends. So this is a little scary to me.
Okay, fine.
Wow, he does it. Okay.
This will hurt, but it's going to be better eventually.
It will. He needs to work on his positioning. That forces aerial turret into the air. I think.
Sure. So we're going to do this. Like this. I want you to be flying, and I want you to be flying. This should be decent because now I rely on these for DPS.
Yeah, so those two drones are going to lift up a drone, either themselves or the aerial turret. Now that's a problem. I actually think that might be a mistake. Actually, yeah, there we go. So now Animeter's definitely lifting aerial turret.
This might work.
He can't rely on the drones lifting aerial turret because they also lift tools. They could lift Animeter.
And I do scale crit.
All right, let's see what it is. I'm a little curious.
But man, I need a Karakara here or something.
Yeah, the damage looks a little low to me, if I'm being honest. I'm a little scared about this. Tomorrow's day 5 Val Day, but the gold items don't show up until day 6 now. That is a change that they made in the last patch.
Oh god, that's
he is
a lot of damage
dead here. That is an insane amount of damage. Let's see how fast he goes. I'm a little skeptical that he can outrace this. Oh, I'm a little wrong. By the way, he's playing 2 cards that were in my reveal, so I should have more faith in them.
Just,
oh,
yeah, he crit me, of course.
Big swings from Pulse Rifle on an 8% crit chance. Oh, that's awful. Now,
Dang.
I will say that Stelle, to win the Stelle,
temporarily weaker because I had to make this last minute pivot, but I wouldn't have beaten him with the ball blaster either. But it's like when the player fight comes right when you're making an awkward transition, and then it's a strong ghost as well. Yeah, it's tough.
Yeah. So I think he's still going to be fine. He is transitioning better into the start-stop line, which...
Gold large items cannot appear on day 5, unfortunately.
Yep.
Which makes Barcoon a lot worse here.
But he is going to have to get something like Freefall Simulator.
Okay.
I don't think you could afford that toolbox line. You don't have enough time to get...
I can sell up
but he can start selling a Barcoon to make some money back.
I'm looking for this upgrade. Yeah, let's...
So selling a Barcoon, of course, gives you 1 extra gold for each small that you sell. He gets the aerial turret upgrade. I'm wondering if he'll do that.
Matter.
It is 20 damage that starts like becoming a 1 second by the end of the fight, so that's big. I think he can't afford
Nicola would be good here.
To pay for chocolate bars
Choco
here.
is also very useful.
So the silver chocolate bars are actually more.
I have headset and I have Ornithopter. I think I'll just go with health.
Yeah. So if you go for the 5 free chocolate bars, that's 50 hit points. If you do the 3 silver, that is 60.
We just need to find a large payoff.
So he went for the line that's going to provide more HP, of course. He's debating something. He's debating if he needs to do it before the monster fight or if he wants to hold it in case he... but he already saw Barcoon. He can give me a
scaling skill. That might win me the day, actually, yeah. Then that is more gold.
There is that option, but
I'm gonna go here. I'm hoping for this.
Yeah, precision tools. That's true. That is pretty strong on his current board. He also has the precision calipers, which would be great for his board. It's a huge pickup on a tool-centric board. Now he's moving out of the tools, but it does just give him the ability to move into a couple of other haste-centered lines that aren't necessarily flying-centric, or that have a way to solve for flying, and then you're just worried about activations.
Our build is really strong against aggro. Sorry, not aggro, control, because as you see, eventually we have a Natlotl, but what we have been facing so far this game is just extremely aggressive Doolies, and then the aggro Mac. Then, of course, day 1 we lost to the Scaling Pig, so it's been,
Atomic Clock.
You know, not the ideal matchups for this kind of comp.
So that's a good amount of gold, so that's a big pickup.
What you want against aggro on Stelle is a parachute to give you some defenses.
And Valde brings up the point, if you go for the bronze chocolate bars, you can theoretically get a little bit more gold out of them.
Okay.
If you happen to hit Valpak, but you have to sell them before the monster fight.
I think my board is still weak.
So that's only 2 chances to hit Valpak. Again, he's taunted by the toolbox upgrade. More money over time, but he needs all of the money tomorrow. Is he gonna go for this? Oh my gosh, he does. I'm a little shocked. He is very poor. He's doing it for the reroll. I'm wondering what he's looking for here. I guess he's looking for gyro because this whole build would... Oh, stop items. Okay, like marshalling lights, etc.
Skill upgrades, that's 5 more damage.
Again, spending a lot of money there.
Unfortunate. 5 more damage could matter. Mittel could have this upgrade. Mittel could have free fall. No, I think I have to go Mittel here, actually.
Yeah, the free falls are pretty big. Question is, does he roll here? Because he'll maybe have to sell that toolbox that he bought. He is hedging into the start-stop line, so he's looking at items that play to that. Lunchbox is a powerful way to get hit points over time.
Okay. I should not have sold my chocolate because I picked up a lunchbox here. Hard to foresee that, though.
Yeah, that's a line
Okay.
that is really hard. It's a new line.
This is looking rough.
Only exists on Stelle.
These are just useless items currently.
If you sell
But
food,
I haven't been able
sorry,
to
I'm gonna
find
let him
a
talk here for a
Karakara
second.
or a free fall simulator or a parachute or anything that could replace them.
Yeah, we're on a hard run here right now. This is a
We are weaker now than we were yesterday.
yeah, and we're unfortunately getting really tough matchups.
We are not favored here. Okay, Pig is good though. I just think
Pig is good
the
right
box cutter
now
more
for
damage?
just about everybody. Pig's in a bit
probably.
of a state. He can be obscenely
then-
strong, or he can just fall over.
I need to
it is
guarantee
hard
that
to
this
say.
starts flying. Maybe it's this.
Is it really that bad to not
Make
have the
you
gold for
start
those large
flying
items?
earlier to scale, and then I do this.
Yes.
Yeah, I think I like this more. Okay. I think it's more important that this one gets to 1 second ASAP than it is for this one to stay at a lower cooldown, if that makes sense.
Yeah, absolutely. The sooner
Okay,
it gets
this
to
is
1
kind of the
second, the
board I
more
was
total
hoping to
damage you
face.
pumped out.
Just don't be aggro, and
I
I
think
should be
he's
fine.
underestimating that amount of heal. I think he is in deep danger here. Laser turret is going to get a lot of damage from that. Yeah, this is a board a lot of people don't understand. Lumbors is going to do damage scaling,
system there.
but laser security system scales through the
we
roof,
might actually
and
lose
he
here.
has a ton of heal. It is a deceptively strong
Yeah.
board. He heals completely back to
His
full.
numbers are much bigger than mine.
We aren't scaling any
the problem.
damage, and he gets to like come back halfway up the
These
full
are
every
crazy
heal.
ghosts today.
It's a very unfortunate
Okay.
matchup. Yeah. Yeah, this is just deeply unfortunate. Sixten has had not a single easy fight. Every single one
So now
has
we
been
stay
a
6. This is the
dominating
part where
ghost.
we have to find a large item and just pivot.
He's just going to plan to sell his
Might
whole
be too
board
late.
if that's what
there's the free
happens.
fall. Okay. And there's the hammer. Okay, we can start doing stuff now. This is not a good start to the run here.
It's a
Free fall.
very harsh start. We have
Wanna sell off some crap.
3
I'm gonna sell off
losses
the
already, so we have to go till
Ender
at least day
drone.
13.
Sell off the box cutter.
The start-stop combo can do it. He's just
Then the
going to
question is,
start
can I afford to reroll?
cannibalizing
I think I have to reroll here. I'm so weak.
and getting ready for a large item that might set him up. Pill
Right, so
buggy.
Pill buggy is a win condition,
You absolutely could get a 10 win out of that.
and I have the perfect comp for it here.
It does
You know
play
what?
with the double haste. Actually,
It
that
needs
is a
to be
very
gold.
good line.
But I think
We're gonna let him talk because he knows this line
is
way
better
better
than what I
do.
currently have, at least. In which case, I'm gonna get rid of this. Put this now here. Then we're gonna want to do this.
So what happens is Pill Buggy gains
something
shield
like
every
that,
time you
perhaps.
haste. Every time you haste it.
Or
And so every
alternatively
time
something
he starts or stops
that's hard.
stops flight on Pill Buggy, he will get hasted by Animator. And every
Something
time he
like this,
starts
maybe.
flight, he will also be hasted by Headset.
Okay.
So he's going to be lifted up by Ornithopter, put down by Freefall. Lifted by Orny, put down by Freefall. He gets 2 hastes every time he's
We are not gonna
lifted.
get any XP from this fight, unfortunately.
Yeah, it's
so
going to be
the
very
issue
hard.
here is that Pill Buggy is a fine pivot if you have won the early game, because it takes time for this to get super strong. But we are running out of time here,
Yeah,
and this is far from Stell's strongest line currently. So
he's going to probably have to pivot out, but it is a better
getting
line,
there.
and he can probably make
and
it
this is
2
a
or 3
wasted
days.
node, unfortunately.
I think he might get a little
Or
bit
let's
of
see. Let's see
XP
how strong a
because of
silver
the
Pill
shield.
Buggy is here. Maybe
Yeah,
the shield can save me.
This will be an interesting test. The shield does pop off quite a bit. Pill Buggy does stack a lot. Let's see. Only 120. There's the big swing. He starts
So
going
weak.
down,
Jesus Christ.
but he gets a lot. Yeah, that shield is just not
Yeah.
scaling too much. His start stop is a little slow. He did pick
No,
up
it's silver.
2
You cannot
XP.
do anything with this item. That's unfortunate.
Yeah, he's kind of realizing this is just
But
not
again,
going
if
to
I
win
can
the
get this
fight
up
today.
to gold, then maybe can we even beat this guy now?
So there is a line to Orny the
That's
free
awkward.
fall,
I
but it
think I have
is
to go here.
actually worse at the current setup of silvers because Orny is going to lift Pill Buggy and Freefall's going to put it down. Actually, I would need to check that. That is an interesting line. I need to
In
check what
hindsight,
the
I probably
cast
should not
times
have
are.
bought the pill buggy. I actually expected it to be slightly stronger than this.
Oh, it gets him flying anyway. Yeah, so I think orning the
Because
free
now I
fall
might
is
not be able to
actually a
afford a
good
large
idea.
item anymore.
I honestly thought Pill Buggy was going to do a little faster with the setup than it is too. Yeah, the scaling on silver is
Yeah,
pretty
I'm too
brutal.
slow.
He also just has a dead item on his board in terms of the setup.
So the item I'm looking for is goggles to give it crit. Crit makes it a lot stronger.
in the Gatling gun.
Okay.
Defensive stance is
Please
huge for
don't
Pill
help
Buggy,
me.
but he's asking if he wants to dig in further into this
Quick
line that he
ignition
doesn't
could
love.
be useful with a fiery enchant. I have so little cash.
Yeah, the reroll is very hard. I would just take defensive stance and try to win today, but
This is rough.
I could really see why you would want to think your way
I
through.
mean, I do have a weapon here, sure, but that's not enough. And if I reroll, I won't be able to buy anything. So
I think you got to take it.
yeah.
Okay.
So many skills that we cannot utilize. Let's go over here.
All right.
Okay,
He's got the Pill
that makes
Buggy
it a lot
upgrade.
stronger. Then the question is, do I buy this and then do I just reroll? And if I see a Skyliner or something, I just pivot. So let's count our gold here.
Yep.
So we'll have 2 gold left, or I reroll. I have 0 gold. 24. 8, 12, 16. Yeah, I could sell everything for it. And then which item would that be? A dagger wing, for example?
Yeah. A
Dagger wing.
A Skyliner.
Skyliner,
He's got so
maybe.
many burn skills. He's not set up
I'm gonna do this
board-wise,
hedge
but
here.
his skills are definitely set up pretty well for Skyliner.
All right.
Does
I
not
did the
find
hedge, at least.
anything.
Now this is a dead item. This needs to be a windbreaker or something. There's also the ramming balloon here.
Yeah, the ramming balloon would get second, like,
It's just very
extra
slow.
value out of the shield.
It gives me a bit more base shield, but it's a very low amount.
I don't think you
I
spend
cannot
more.
justify the purchase here.
Yeah, I think you leave. He knows he could sell perfect. He'd
Yeah.
have to sell off for this item, which just doesn't make any sense. He can sell off perfectly into a 24 at the next shop if he finds it.
There's also this idea.
There we go. He sees the
So
line
make
that
the free
Valde
fall
talked
lower
about.
cooldown,
There you go.
and then that's a bit awkward though.
So free fall is going to lift it up. So
this is hard,
Animeter
so
will
let's
then
see.
lift Gatling gun. But then the
Lower
next
cooldown
time
free
free
fall is
fall
more
will put
stops.
it down, and Animeter will pick it up. So then it starts stop gets faster as the
And
fight goes
then
on.
the question is, where do I put the Gatling gun?
Doesn't really matter because it's not doing
Yeah.
too much in the fight. If Gatling gun's gonna get picked up where it is and get a
Maybe
little
a
bit of
bit here.
haste. Not sure the value of that, because if he does the math,
It might actually be. No, it has to be this, I guess. And then we do like this.
okay,
Yeah.
he's gonna force Animeter onto Pill Buggy, but so
Okay, there's a pull.
yeah, I'm not sure that's necessary because I think the first
Okay, let's go here.
free fall cast, or is free fall 4 seconds? Am I
Now
thinking
these
of
are
it
not
wrong?
the ones I was hoping to see,
No,
unfortunately.
those are not good hedges, unfortunately.
So
Does
Stellar
not have the
Shadowwing
money.
is a very strong, or Swallowtail is very strong, but it's specifically strong for 10-0.
Yeah.
It is not a late game item at all.
It's a tempo
In fact,
line.
Pill Buggy has more potential late game. Radar Dome is super good with Pill Buggy, but I cannot buy
You'd have
it
to
here
sell
without
Pill
having
Buggy
to
to get it.
sacrifice the Pill Buggy itself. So
Yeah,
not the largest I was hoping to see
I
here.
think you gotta just leave and send it.
Swallowtail might be slightly stronger than the Pill Buggy currently, but it's gonna
Oh,
fall off
sorry,
really hard.
Rebenja. Sorry, Rebenja. I didn't realize
It
you were
needs
the one
crit
who
and
had
it needs
the
flashy pilot, so
positioning there.
now we have to go for it. So let's count then. 24. 16. Yeah, I can afford it. It should make me stronger right now, at least.
I'm not sure what the line here is.
Okay. Yeah, I have to do this if I want to believe in this run.
Is he going for Swallowtail here?
Fortunately. You and you. Not the large I was hoping for, but the one I got offered here. So when another item is hasted, charge this. So we're gonna wanna make sure.
Yep, get as much start-stop flying as you can.
So we want this to have CDR, I think. Yes. And then
But you don't want to start-stop
these
it.
like that. And then there's the awkward aspect of maybe it's this actually. Yeah, I think it's like this.
Yeah, because you want the start-stop on other items because
Sure.
that's what charges Stellar Swallowtail. So stopping Swallowtail is a charge that you lose that you can
fine.
put on something else. So this
It
looks
is
like a
day
good
6.
setup.
This is the strongest day for this item, right? Because these numbers are the strongest when we have low health, right? If this cannot win on day 6, then this run is over because it's going to be very hard to get this number higher. Okay.
Walter's finished his first game on game 1, switching to Pig now. So Walter's doing a 3 different hero game just to ensure he doesn't have duplicate items
Vortex
on his
Cannon
board.
is good for me, actually. Yeah, that's actually a really good item for me. It makes my stuff fly, which hastes my items, which makes this go crazy.
One of the problems with Vortex Cannon is it is bad in the mirror match. You are just setting up your opponent
I'm not fine because he's scaling
hot garbage
damage
into your face.
Yeah, no, I'm not fine because I'm scaling his damage. Oh god.
Oh, his start stops are scaling the opponent too.
Okay, that is
actually every time he's
really
using
awkward.
a flying item, yeah, he's charging Vortex Cannon.
I would have won here with Pill Buggy. That's in. Okay.
Oh, it's brutal. That's going to be the run.
I cannot believe it. So, whenever a player uses any flying item that gains damage, this went off 16 times. I scaled my opponent here.
That's brutal.
Just brutal.
Oh, that's probably going to be the run, unfortunately.
So in hindsight, I should have stuck with the Pill Buggy, but
I'm not sure that you could have seen walking into Vortex Cannon. I'm not sure
there are a million matchups where this would have been better.
Yeah. Sixten's matchup luck today was absolutely
I don't
rough.
have cash. Do I still go there? These don't give me gold,
bad
unfortunately.
options, unfortunately. There's no reason not to. You just go and you probably leave.
Just have a look. Oh, that's great. Ooh, okay.
Space Laser. Can you afford it? But you don't have a lot of small active items.
She has no gold.
Yeah. This is the problem.
That is a 10 win item.
So Sixten unfortunately got the tool line, which we talked about before we started that he didn't want to get.
My board in time.
Yeah, it's definitely a throw today.
This is a nightmare run. This might be the most
cursed run. It's definitely the most cursed run I've seen him do. I've seen dozens of runs of Sixtens.
16. I have to sell this.
He's gonna go for it because this is a board that if you get it flying, you can absolutely get a 10 win even deeply late.
But does this even win? Because if I face strong ghost, even a space laser won't be enough. I'm just digging my grave in further.
Yeah, there are day 16 ghosts, 15 ghosts that have too many hit points, but
and then the question is, which items can I afford to get rid of? I have to get rid of this.
Unfortunately, the early couple of losses kept forcing Sixten into desperation.
The hammer because that could be a diamond upgrade on this, but you know, economy on Stelle is.
Yeah. So I'm going to mute him for a second to talk about kind of what happened in the run.
These are required for the space laser to work. I have to sell this.
And so he's selling off items to buy space lasers. So
and I wish I could buy this upgrade.
That's really into the tool line, which Sixten originally said he kind of didn't want to do because it has the least hedges out.
The order here is
the only good news about the tool line is that it can set you up for a lot of money to make these big purchases later on. Unfortunately for him, he did not get the upgrade encounter where he gets gold per the amount of tools he has. He was set up for it the whole time. It would have single-handedly set him up to win the run, or to at least like have the money to buy these hedges and whatnot. But so instead, he's in the tool line. It's supposed to be really strong early, and he just gets brutally bad matchups, which makes him lose. And then he starts getting nervous and tries to set up to pivot into something that does have a better chance to win for the day. Those several pivots kept costing him his gold. And each time he made the pivot, he had a very short clock on that pivot.
This tool is extremely good
let him talk
on every Stelle build, except when you're playing Space Laser. Ironically, but I'll take it. It's an item on the board.
Yeah, he's
And then
just
I
got
need
to
as
build
much
up
gold
free
as
items
possible
now.
here, so I'm just gonna go Charles.
Yeah, Charles does have the most money
Optimize
out
the
of
board
these
here a
items.
bit.
Treasure Turtle is very close,
Something
but Charles
like-
is a little bit
I
better.
think
Charles is also
I want this to
more.
be surrounded by stuff.
Each
So
item is a lot of
you
gold,
are
so it's a less high-low roll
so and
than
so.
Treasure Turtle, where most of the items
yeah,
value is focused in 2 lines.
that looks fine.
Okay. This is not Pig. Hey, Progger! No, it's not. We are casting Sixten, playing Stelle, trying to do the Stelle-only tournament run. He just got a deeply unfortunate start. I do wonder why he isn't goggling the space laser. I guess there's no reason to here. There's a bit of inevitability. Now, Chili, there's actually a chance he loses this fight. Actually, it looks... No, 10,000. I'm sorry. No, there's not. Chili can't. As long as Space Laser goes before the storm and it doesn't get, like, perma-frozen, he wins us. And so the end of the fight starts now. The end. Okay. We saw how deeply slow that board is, though. So he's gonna have to get a couple more items to get that up to speed. Goes to Orlin. None of those are great for him. You really don't want to spend money.
It's just this.
Yeah.
And then, oh, these are not what I was hoping to see either. Score Recycling Center. Oh, that's actually really good.
Jetpack actually
Okay.
works really well in this build.
And now we have to make a difficult decision. So it should be like that. And then I think I have to click relax here
Yeah. He
instead
cannot...
of Kina.
He can't lose. He just has to see if he can survive long enough for Space Laser to go off. Space Laser has like several days of inevitability. Probably until like day 12. It's going to be enough to kill all of his opponents. It just actually has to go. So
Do
it's
I need
about...
crit to beat Mac?
I think Mac is not shielding, so absolutely not. I don't think he does.
Let me think about this board. Is there any way I can get this one over here and make it fly as well?
Yeah, he's just trying to get all the other items to fly so that when they cast the charge...
And Mac, he can't shield. How can he get... Oh, I guess a shield enchant would do it, yeah.
But he's very unlikely to have one day 7.
Makes my space laser slower though.
Yeah, I don't think he should
No,
do it.
okay.
I think he's fine here.
Just don't have a shield enchant, okay?
Now, the real thing
That's so
he's worried
unlikely on
about
day
is
7
that there's a
on a
big
Mac
chance
shield.
that relax doesn't help him at all because Mac might be doing
Alright,
a
nice.
poison build. He is. So
I
now
don't...
it's
oh
about
god.
how fast...
Necronomicon and I
Oh
don't use
my
weapons. Okay.
God.
Nightmare Fuel
Necronomicon,
right
what
there.
are these ghosts? This is
See
the
if the
most
health
brutal
advantage can
matchup
get
I've
us over
seen.
the line because we do haste.
Can he swing soon
Yeah, we should
enough?
be fine
Look
here.
at Necro go.
Surely.
No, that's a lot of poison at scaling. Does he get the swing? He
Nice.
does!
Okay, that's huge.
Ho,
But a
ho,
very
ho.
spooky opponent. For
What
sure.
are these ghosts?
But Mac is the
Seriously.
perfect opponent. If I get 10 more Max here, we're gonna be fine.
Oh
He's
my
allergic
god.
to space lasers.
Oh my god, absolutely
That's really
huge.
good.
Yeah, on my side screen, I'm pulling up
Okay.
Space Laser so I can read the
I
card
think
deal.
we finally have steered the ship in the right direction after a lot of really rough days.
When you use a flying item, charge this 1 second. So what he's been doing on his board is trying to get everything in the air, which is why Goggles is over where it is. And so every time those things cast, they charge Space Laser. So Space Laser is the only thing that's not important for him to get flying, because when Space Laser swings,
No,
it kills
I want
the opponent.
more gold, I think.
Yeah, he wants more gold. He also wants small, fast items.
That's a faster item.
Yep. It's
Remember,
just
we have
anything he can get
first
into
times
the
use
air.
a tool, haste a tool.
Oh,
that
yeah.
should work
that
on
haste
itself. That's good. I'm gonna actually do this. That's
absolutely.
This is a lower
Lower cooldown.
cooldown on that one.
He's just trying to
Makes the
get
space laser quicker.
fast stuff in the air and get him to spam.
Now,
Wonder
should
where
your
that orbital
CDR
polisher
be
is. He is also going to have to level up that orbital polisher to get any value out of it.
directed? It should be here,
Even
I
if he
think.
gets the hammer trick,
Yeah.
he's
Okay.
still probably not going to find a hammer at bronze. I'll have to find it at silver.
Dragon or Cloud Top Officer?
I'm a little scared of
Yeah,
Dragon.
we should beat the Dragon.
Dragon will kill you in about 14 seconds. I'm not
Now-
sure how fast the space laser's going here, but Dragon has no CDR.
This skill right here
no crowd control.
can do crazy stuff. On Stelle, there are
Yeah.
infinites you can do in the late game, utilizing Battle Balloon, Hanger, and Steam Washer. The issue with that build is that you don't have scaling. This solves that issue. So if I get this, with this, and then find those items, we might
this
be able to
is
just
Sixten's first game. It is a
win that way.
tragic run where he's had
when you burn
the
charge this.
most
okay.
cracked opponents and then just a
And
very,
here, I
very
think it has
bad
to be
vendor
loot
luck when
because
he
I want
needed it
CDR.
most.
And I'm gonna try and be quiet again and let Goose commentate.
So Sixten is a teacher. I know it sounds like we're talking over each other a little bit, so I apologize for that. I'm kind of used to just doing the full talk here, the song and dance. But Sixten knows this hero better than anyone, has played the shit out of him on the public test server. He is, there we go. So he's showing us right now that he orbital polishes a tool. Wrench has the chance to upgrade orbital polisher once the quest gets done. Once the quest is finished, he needs that to be a high enough level to dump on something that gives it decent value. So he's highlighting it for us here. That's why he picked up Wrench. He did not go for the upgrade on Joystick because Joystick just charges adjacents faster, and he was only using it as a thing with the fast cooldown time. Butterfly starts flight right away, which means it immediately, hang glider. I don't think that's a move, and he can't afford it. But the paper airplane cooldown reduction is pretty strong. So I think he's gonna grab that paper airplane. I do not think hang glider goes late. I'm not sure why he's considering it here. Now again, I do not know Stelle as well as Sixten, but I know Sixten's old feelings about hang glider were that he didn't like the item. But they changed it so when your items stop flying, it does damage. So now the start stop cycling
decision. If I had more prestige here,
yeah, let's hear him
I
talk
would
it out.
snap click this. This is super strong for at least 3 more days, probably. Especially with these items right here.
Yeah, because he has a lot of start stop happening.
And then I can add the Karakara.
But he doesn't have the money
However,
for this, and Space Laser goes later. I think he has to play towards the late
I don't
game.
think I can justify that.
Yeah, I agree.
I will reroll for the Ornithopter upgrade.
It's a bit spicy.
And there is the Steam Washer I mentioned. Bicycle. No, it doesn't help me.
Okay. So now he has to think about the tools he has in his stash. I'm a little curious if he wants to throw away the goggles.
Useful anymore. Well, it still is. I guess. Yeah.
I'm curious about the goggles in his stash because they do have a chance to eat his upgrade from the wrench.
Might be on the jetpack, honestly.
He has 2 tools right now. Oh, that's interesting.
Yeah, no, I think this might actually be stronger.
Ornithopter is going to get lifted by Animeter.
Like
Animeter will get lifted by Ornithopter. Jetpack will get lifted as well. His whole board gets in the air. Everything except for Headset and Space Laser, both of which don't do anything on his cast time.
Oh, but then I don't give it CDR.
Yeah, he needs the haste to be over on the left direction. So I like this setup here. Everything gets in the air. When everything swings, it charges each other. I want to make sure the
Space Laser is perma-hasted.
Yeah.
Because
I think I would thought with the butterfly
being hasted, usually just by the fact that the paper airplane starts and stops flying, etc.
Yeah, this version maintains haste. Now, this is a very strong enemy. I don't know how big that Julian is.
I guess we're dead then.
Yeah, it's probably going to end him before he has the time.
Unless, can we get there in time? Not if he keeps critting me. Nope. Okay.
Ugh, what was the crit chance on that?
This freaking item.
That's a huge orange Julian.
And this is why I haven't been able to win on Stelle today. I keep facing Julian, and
yeah, Julian
how are you meant to
unfortunately
defeat
is
that
just able to get under you.
without the craziest wrecking ball hammer exploit?
Yeah, this is unfortunate.
Yeah.
So we're gonna see what the enchant
Ironically, if I
is.
switched over to the hang glider, I could have beaten this probably. But again, then I would have had to sell my entire
Does
board.
prestige not matter as the
hang
tiebreaker
glider
if
cannot
multiple
last
people
today
have
16,
310
so
wins? Yeah, the first
just very rough
tiebreaker
opponents.
is just having as many unique items across the
And
runs.
now we have to think.
Yeah, do you?
I think it has to be leveling here because the most crucial thing about Space Laser is health. Enchants
That's an
don't matter on this as
interesting
much.
call.
You can solve the damage with crit later.
Yeah, that's a super
So I'm
interesting
just going to
call.
do that instead.
Sounds right to me. It's totally sounds
Now we
smart
get an
because he just
enchant
needs to
here.
survive as long as possible. And he knew he was
And
getting
then
an
I
enchant
think
anyway.
in for a penny, in for a pound, you know?
Yeah, I think doing this on Space Laser, first
We're
of all,
going to need a
is
miracle. So we need to find Nicola.
yeah,
Then we need to
need to figure out
put
how to go
shiny on it
super
through
fast
the
through the orbital polisher.
That is still bronze because the wrench keeps hitting the other tools in my stash. And I didn't want to sell this one because that might come useful if I have to pivot.
So he is sitting on 5
Mediums
losses
don't really
here.
help. I guess Wrecking
He
Ball
can't
actually
die again. So it's day
helps.
15 we're looking at as the best case scenario.
Low roller.
So he needs to figure out how to get as much spam as possible. Low roller, multicast. He can get it multicast 3.
Yeah, I like that actually.
Because Animeter is there.
And there is the Wrecking Ball. We have to buy that as well. It's really unfortunate that I just missed the Obsidian enchant for it. And since I have already died, I will not have another opportunity for an enchant. But this, with the right setup, can beat most things a lot quicker than this can.
Interesting.
And I think we have to go here.
So that's a line I'm not very familiar with at all.
Okay, let's reroll.
So I'm super curious if he gets the pieces to move into that.
That is useful. So now this can no longer be upgraded by the wrench.
So Wrecking Ball, I know, does need crit, so Goggles needs to be there.
Should be like that instead.
He doesn't get multicast unless he has the tools in there. And it's Animeter that's his only tool at the moment.
For some reason, I thought it was vehicles as well.
This is the problem with
well, that's not too bad.
us all playing new heroes. Later. Yeah, it totally can.
As well.
The exact card text sometimes escapes us all right now.
That skill will not help me.
No, 1 shot, 1 kill will make him slower. He does plenty of killing. He doesn't do plenty of shots.
No, we go here. Now this would win me the game.
When your items start flying, charge a weapon. That would be
Space Laser.
Pretty big, actually.
That would do it.
That would be huge. Let's pray for it. Let's pray we get to see this go late.
We really need a Nicola.
Yeah, you desperately need charge on this build. The Nicola is pretty big at getting Space Laser into the fight sooner. Interesting to see what the Wrecking Ball pieces are. I'm not familiar with that line, so I wonder what he does to set up that board.
All right.
He has the upgrade.
That is a really important upgrade.
It's 5 seconds off the cast time here.
Without questioning it too much, because there is no other upgrade I can compete with that here. And our skills here would be really big for us. CDR, not that CDR. I need the... Hold up.
Yeah, he's going to have to sell off to get this.
We need the... When your flying items have CDR.
Doesn't get it.
That is also fine, though. Yeah. I rigged for my items.
Yeah, so basically all of his items are going to get haste.
Not too bad. And then I should actually hold... So I'm going to put the Ornithopter over here now. Because now, since this starts flying immediately, it will be 3 seconds. And then I will have a rigged effect 2 seconds.
Yep.
Let's make sure Everything else looks
Curious to see
okay.
how fast this is. Now we're hoping for
That needs to...
slower
Let's do
mid-rangier
this,
opponents
I
right now,
guess.
which has
Yeah.
just not been what
But now
Sixten
you don't...
has been getting.
Oh, that's awkward. No, that's fine, actually. I want it to always land there. Okay, I think I've figured out how this... But now you don't fly. Does that matter?
Does the haste hit it if it's not flying
Well, I don't
on
think
that
he
skill?
flied to begin with, though.
Yeah, he was never flying before.
Do you need to fly? I don't...
Nope.
But it helps against freeze.
Yeah, I
It's
think
hard.
that's a lesser consideration here.
Oh, let's go. Okay.
There's Nicola. Okay, he's gonna just
Let us
go
think.
all in
So
on the build now.
Do I want you around?
I'd be curious if he still goes Wrecking Ball, considering he's got Nicola now. This thing can build out. Again, he always
I'm missing
has
too
the
much for
speed
this
problem.
to work.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. It's gonna go
You
for
are
Nicola.
joining
This
the party.
charge is huge. We're gonna start seeing this build actually
want
have
you
some
here,
decent speed. It's
I think.
Obsidian, so it can one
I
shot
need to haste you
anything
as
but
well.
the fattest of fat pigs. It can even kill
Maybe
those
it's
on this
just...
day. So we're gonna listen to him talk through his
Maybe it's
positioning,
simply
because that
this.
is the most complicated thing on Stelle.
Yeah, that looks better.
So Animeter can get Space Laser in the air, but won't put it down anymore. He's
I
doing that so it's
would like
a little
upgrades
more
here.
slow immune.
I think I will reroll for them. Oh, that's fine.
Yeah, none of that matters. It's fine.
Now we are significantly stronger than before.
Yeah, let's get a look-see at how this
This
speed
might
goes.
actually get us over the line for once. Like, just the first ever time where we beat someone without having to sweat. This would do it.
How will he stop the Wrecking Ball? Yeah, he wasn't yet set up for that. It's part of why he left that hedge line, because he still has pieces he needs, like marshalling lights for that build to matter,
should not be
or
an issue.
airplane glue.
This is the first weak ghost of the entire game.
Yeah, now that it doesn't matter, it's his first very weak ghost. Now, this is still feeling pretty slow.
So slow now.
There's some positioning issue here. Not sure what it is. We gotta
something here.
Figure that out. Ornithopter isn't flying. Nicola isn't flying.
Hold up.
He's missing a lot of charges.
Did I mess something up? When you use a flying item, right?
Yeah. So Ornithopter isn't flying right now, and Nicola isn't flying right now.
Let me rewatch the fight real quick. I expected the fight to last much shorter here.
And an Animeter isn't flying either. For a bit. Okay, Nicola got in the air, but Animeter and Ornithopter aren't. I wonder if there's a way to solve that.
Okay, I don't know.
I'm not entirely sure. I would be too worried about getting Space Laser up.
I guess we don't have that much haste up time, since we don't start and stop.
Probably gonna go for chocolate bars here.
For. Relax against
the monster fight.
Here.
There are monster fights he can't take that Relax would help him with.
Could be really great. Yeah, let's go with Curio.
Wonder what he's looking for here.
This is going to be completed today.
That's strong. He does not have a
chance, I don't think matters here.
Hammer right now. And
there
is a trick on Hammer where if you drop your Orbital Polisher on Hammer, you then move the enchant to Hammer, and then Hammer is not size restricted and it's not level restricted. So then you could put it on any size item and at any tier.
That's health, but that's
and
not worth
upgrade
the
it and add the enchant to it. But he is going to want to put it on a small item anyway. He's going to want to put it on that Nicola. So all he really needs to do is just get an Orbital Polisher upgrade, and he's fine there too.
This is one of the stronger new boss fights because it is a Skyliner with Launch Tower.
Yeah, which is a pretty strong build.
Quite a bit of burn.
Would you move Animator next to Thopter to lift the Thopter? I'm not I'm not entirely sure, honestly. Yeah, I think Paper Airplane is dropping some cast when it puts down right now.
Skills or XP? It's gonna be a long time before the XP does much for us, I think. Let me think.
Yeah, he's just passing the corner on that.
Probably, but skills are very expensive. We have to go a long way though.
That is an interesting
I
call.
think I'm just gonna take the XP here because I cannot afford skills to begin with. And I want ammo here. Oh, it has to be temp health here. As much as I want the upgrades here, temp health is so important on this build.
Literally cannot lose another day. Has to take every fight advantage
Now,
he
the
can.
issue is that every single item I want to put shiny on, I have it gold.
Yep.
And this is guaranteed to become gold at the start of the next day.
Yes.
The
So
only
he's just
thing I
gonna
could
have to take
give
this
it to is
fight.
the headset, which gives me more
Not worth
more
doing.
haste uptime, which could be the deciding factor in winning this fight. This is a horrible decision to make.
I think you got to play long.
The sequencing of upgrades for the wrench was the worst possible, where
it
managed to upgrade everything else before it finally landed on the orbital. Of course, I should have probably just sold the goggles a long time ago.
Freezes. It also helps against
they aren't being that
slows.
useful here.
And this item is, while it is being charged, it does have a lot of open cast time right now.
Massive for later.
Yeah, I think.
But again, if we don't win this fight, we're out.
Don't do it. Don't do it, Sixten. Just take the fight.
Honestly, I'm gonna use a phone call here. So Goose, if you want to unmute yourself, because this is such a horrible decision. I just want to hear what you would do in this position, because ultimately,
hey buddy, can you hear me?
I can hear you. Yes.
Yeah. So what I've been saying is, I think you just got to send it. This is the day that Space Laser is as strong as Space Laser is going to get. The little bit of extra haste. You can lose today, but you're going to have so many can lose moments, and you're not fast enough right now. I think you have to play around 10 wins, so I would save it for Nicola or whatever you intend on putting it on.
We have to play to win. We have to play to win, not to play to lose. If that makes sense. Yeah, that was what I was leaning towards as well, but I just wanted to double check.
Yeah.
It is heartbreaking for this because of this decision.
It totally is. And that's one of those, you're gonna, if you lose to it, you feel terrible, but you just have to play around the long term. It's a 10 win or nothing. So, all right, I'm going to let you go, buddy.
Here. Yeah. All right, guys. I mean, in a way, it will be relieving if I lose because of that, because I just want to start a new run at this point. This has been heartbreaking.
This is a brutal
run. We had a really
run.
strong start, and then a weak middle game.
But the strong start ran face first into some of the dumbest
which I guess makes sense because everyone is playing. But yeah, just want to double check that I don't have any other tools that could interfere with the upgrade here. No.
It's a good check.
Should be no way for that to get messed up. Double check the positioning here. Should the Nicola be elsewhere? I don't think so. Paper Airplane elsewhere? I don't think so.
What about Orny?
Okay, Dooley. He can easily kill me here.
Yeah.
Okay. This is the most important fight of the entire run. Just give me one freebie. That's all I ask for. One freebie and I will turn this around.
He says, please fall over and I shall never need you to ever again. 3D printer, shiny armored core.
That could be a massive problem. Oh god, it's a shiny armored core.
He might be able to outscale Sixten's damage.
We might be fine though. We have 20k damage. No, we should be fine, right? There is no way in hell.
Can he
There's absolutely no way in hell you get 20k in that.
Oh, yes, he can. Oh, no, he did. Sixten loses in the storm. Son of a bitch.
The haste wouldn't have mattered at least. But
I'm unmuting here, buddy. That is... Your matchups have been so brutal.
That is not real. That is the word. I mean... How is that the opponent I face here? Generally.
There's like 2 builds that can maybe not die to Space Laser today. Not even normal builds. Like a shiny armor core is not a normal build.
No, because the thing is, he didn't use a dino saddle, right? Like you can have shiny on Dooley, that's fine with
Right.
a saddle.
But yeah,
But
you
this
have to
guy
waste
got it
board space
without a
for it.
saddle. Yeah. Instead, he had board space for all of those.
And
Okay,
he's,
that's the first run.
yeah.
Again, I should not have bought the pill buggy in hindsight, but also I kept losing fights. I needed something to build
Yeah.
around. That was
Yeah,
rough.
unfortunately, the early matchups then kept forcing your hand into harder and harder trade-offs where you had to keep trying to win right away, which cost money that kept you from being able to put.
Yes. And that's the problem with Stelle. This is why I think Dooley is much better for this because Stelle has money problems.
Yeah.
You cannot both play for the future and play for the present on Stelle. You have to pick one lane and stick to it. And I tried to pick both lanes and faced hard ghosts and bad shops at the same time, which is not a great combo there. But yeah, I think again, misplay, definitely a misplay to buy the pill buggy in hindsight. I should have just realized, no, I need something stronger. But even with all that said, I still think we would have lost to the same ghosts, even with like I don't know what Swallowtail earlier, maybe. I don't know what would have been that different, honestly.
Well, I'm gonna send you into your next run. That run ran a little long, so you got an hour and 45. I'd suggest
faster, yeah.
We are learning a ton, and this is so fun and so valuable. I know it didn't go the way that you wanted to there, but I would encourage to like don't slow down too much to explain your runs. You only got an hour and 45 for two more.
Okay. For this one, okay, let's do it. This one, I think you can just mute me until you want me to talk. Does that make sense?
Okay,
so I'm going to be quiet.
I am actually, you go ahead and you could talk through the early part. I have to run to the restroom real quick. And then so I'm going to mute me. You won't hear me anymore. I'll come back in to let you know when I'm back. So you could talk if you want to, or you don't. The audience is just going to watch you play here for a second, and I will be right back.
Right.
Okay, just letting you know I'm back, and I will pick up the commentary here. Good luck, man.
Thanks. So you can mute me now if you want to.
Okay, we are muting Sixten. I honestly think this run's going to go considerably better. Sixten is a great teacher and likes teaching, and I think some of the issue with that run is the amount of time that he had to stop and spend to like communicate out to us rather than like sitting and listening to himself and just like making the snap decisions when his gut tells him to do something. I know I play horrifically on stream for that reason. That sometimes just when you're in the mode that you're trying to articulate to other people, you're not able to like have access to your intuition and you second guess a lot. And a lot of his second guesses moved him into those like hybrid lines, which were trying to be better to win the day. And then he kept getting bad ghost matchups versus if he had given up a day or so to get into the proper build, might have had a better chance. Of course, we're backseat driving, totally second guessing, not sure. He is going for a pure pacifist build right now. Free fall simulator and headset is the beginning of the start stop. It's fantastic. It's but he doesn't have anything that does damage. So he has to be able to survive the opponent. Now, if the opponent has damage scaling, he is huge. He's screwed. But if they don't, he's going to be stacking significant amounts of regen. We see a lot of damage on the board, but no damage scaling. The question is regen going to pop off enough to save him? I don't necessarily think it is. Regen's kind of a bit of a weak until it stacks. Day one, it's really strong because it's very strong against non-damage scaling boards. But the problem he's going to run into is that, that turret is just rapid firing into his face. So he's going to constantly be taking damage during the storm. He just wasn't able to get enough regen up, unfortunately. So it looks like he's going to lose this. Now he's just now out regenning the enemy's damage. But the storm's going to take and he has less hit points and the regen's probably not going to be enough to be the difference. Oh, so close. So close. Brutal. Up against aerial turret board. where the turret actually got up in the air early too is the other thing. The opponent did not have inevitability on aerial turret getting up on that first cast, or even the first two casts, because he had a tool on the board as well, I believe. And yet he landed it, which was also the worst case scenario there. Was definitely the difference in the fight. So now Sixten is fishing to figure out what to put together. So Molten Ball Blaster, he is looking into the ghost of what he just did. He has a tool and Steam Washer on his board. He's going to go ahead and just grab Karakara, which is building him. Karakara lifts all items up. It sets you up very well for the start-stop line, but it is also a vehicle. So he's just going to regen his way to victory here. Yeah, I'm kind of curious. Oh yeah, Kite just picks him back up so he stays off the ground the whole time. Yeah, so just peppering in. Actually, that combo works pretty well there. Free fall simulator putting him down, Kite picking it back up. His regen's working a little faster. He's going to get 2 more items on the board, so the regen's going to be pretty good. Now he just needs to figure out a damage source to go with Karakara. He could get something like an aerial turret, which would be very strong, because getting it into the air and then buffing it with Karakara means that it'll guarantee that it starts like its cast speed. He has free fall simulator, so he could do something like an air pressure rifle. So he's just looking for what his damage payoff is today, but he has a lot of pieces to move into good lines without spending much more other than upgrades. So he's in a much better starter build today. Happened to me too, the Goose Course. Yeah, Walter's first game was tragic also. I think there it is. There's an aerial turret, a silver aerial turret, no less. That is super strong today. He's just gonna get rid of Kite so that he can upgrade goggles. He's gonna go all in on turret today. He gets this side hustle skill, the one we've been talking about, that can give you a lot of gold too early. It's the worst time to get it. He only has 2 tools, so it only gave him 4 gold, which is deeply tragic because it's only 1 gold more than just going for the loot option was. But that's what he was looking for all last game. Honest to God, if he hit that anytime before day 6, we would have saw a deeply different game from him. He would have been able to pick up the orbital questing large item to go with this pill buggy, leaned into that board and probably never had to pivot and didn't have to like lose the swallowtail day, lose the next day. Could have seen a very different run if he saw that level up reward. It's kind of unfortunate that Stelle has only 1 real monetary encounter. Money is her biggest problem, and it being so random is a little tough. So this is just an aerial turret carry build. He is looking at the amount of shield that is going to pop off. That is an insane amount of shield. He does not scale. He just gets faster. I think he's fine, though. Oh, no, he does scale. I'm sorry. He's perma-hasted. He's 1 second. And he has a teeny tiny bit of combat damage scaling. Honestly, the Shadow Cloak is pretty huge. It gets him hasted, and it gets his 2nd and 3rd swing to where he's getting down to the 1 second faster. Again, the way the aerial turret works is when it gets up in the air, it gets multicast. Is he gonna upgrade the scaling? No, free fall simulator. Yeah, he's playing for later. He's got time to do that. That makes sense. But Shadow Cloak is fun for today. Is he gonna go for it? Yeah, he's gonna go for it. He can find free fall simulator in the shops. This is very, very strong for several days. Karakara picks it up in the air. At 7 seconds, it swings twice if it is airborne, gets multicast. That lowers the cooldown for each swing, so then it becomes a 5-second item, and now it's hasted for 4 seconds, which means it only takes 2.5 seconds for him to get his next set of swings. Now, not against... Okay, I didn't I didn't see him pick on the craziest fight. I have yet to witness someone live beat Mosquito, and of course his board is cracked, so he's able to do it. Click on this fight at your own risk, people. Mosquito is deeply cracked right now. It is insane. He's got Keen Eye. It's decent. Not the skill he's looking for. There's the haste weapon skill, which is really strong. I mean, that's not a bad one. He's just thinking probably going to go for the gold there. He gets another level up, gets to put it on Karakara. That's more flat damage on aerial turret. This is gonna be, and then he gets Finn. Yeah, he's able to haste whatever he picks up and puts down. So he gets Finn. Of course, he's going to go for the extra hit points. This is now a tempo game. This is a game about getting 11 wins. He lost 1, but unless all things go absolutely terrible. Now, can that stop anything? Can that stop his aerial turret? It's a lot of shield if he stops something. Yeah, I'm a little scared about that. Yeah, I'm a little scared that stops your aerial turret and loses your multicast. I don't think you can run that on an aerial turret board. Or is it just adjacents? I'd have to look up. I haven't seen that item too much. So he's up against a Karakara Gatling gun. Steam Pressure Hose doesn't have any slow on the board, so that's a lot of burn, but it's not being charged. There is a gyro, so all of his flying stuff is going to scale. It is a pretty strong enemy board, but he's got haste and multicast and 1 second. Look at that. The opponent had a pretty dream board save for that fire hose, although the 12 burn did plenty of damage. But the aerial turret setup won it for him. Kind of close to being in range of the extra HP he got between the chocolate bars and the fin. So this is why you always eat your chocolate bars. That's why he's spending 10 precious gold on extra hit points from the chocolate bars there. He knows a lot of his fights are going to be up against this. He is selling off to buy that toolbox. That is the #1 income generating item that you can get on Stelle. You pretty much always want it, and then it can also just build you your board. It can give you an orbital polisher, which is part of your late game. Being able to like get a shiny enchant that you can put on something is really important. It could give you hammer, which could set you up for the orbital polisher hammer combo. If you get your toolbox to gold, it could give you wrench, which could start upgrading all of your tools. It can provide you just a lot of really useful stuff on top of just being the only real good income generator Stelle has. Curious why the loot generator is bad. It's not. It's an okay item. It's just you can't, if you buy it today, it will just pay itself back by the time you go to sell it. Whereas the toolbox has that effect. He could still sell it and end up dead even on day 6 if he has to sell it in order to get a large gold item. But he also can just get actual usable items from it. If you saw it on day 2, you would go for it because you would make enough money by the final day. He's debating if he wants Andy or just to see if he sees something in the reroll shop. He doesn't have a lot of money. He knows orbital polisher is valuable. The longer he has it on his board, the more he can get upgrades out of it. He does the reroll here because a lot of his board just kind of isn't usable. Gonna grab Angle Grinder because it's better than stuff he has. And then gonna figure out his setup here. It's some damage. If he puts it to the other side of Karakara, it will get Karakara damage. He's knows that he's gonna lose some haste. Now I'm not sure it matters. He knows he's gonna lose some haste on the shield, so he loses some shield for what would be a little bit of damage from that flying drone on the right. Made the decision that's the way to go here. He's up against a control board. Again, you got the steam hose, but no slow, but you have a lot of shield. Just like literally everything on their board is shield. There's not a lot of synergy here. I don't entirely know what this board does because there's a lot of items you don't play together, but yeah, it just gets wrecked is the answer to the question. The small 2 shield items have burn synergy, but it's about speed burn to charge them, and he has a very slow burn item. That burn item gets charged by slows. He doesn't have any slow items. The balloon has effects that pair with flying. He doesn't have a lot of flying activators. There's just like a lot of disparate pieces that hadn't come together yet. Yeah, that weapon got super buffed. It's incredibly strong, but luckily he runs out of ammo to prevent you from fully dying. Now, the boots here would be you can sell those to add haste to a haste item, so that would be an extra second of haste on his headset, which would be huge. There's crit. Eagle Talisman's great. He can hold on to that for a while when he finds his large item tomorrow, hopefully. Or no, it looks like he's just going to play the aerial turret game. This is why he's spending his money. Okay, so Sixten is making the choice not to play for the buy the big item on day 6, and he is just digging into the board he has. He believes aerial turret's strong enough to stay on tempo. He's trying to figure out if he can solve crit here. Or no, he's dealing with the start-stop for orbital polishers, what it is. He is trying to get as many flight activations as he can so that he can keep questing orbital polisher. You can't do start-stop with aerial turret. You just have to keep it up in the air because that's where all your damage comes from. So that is the reason I think Sixten thinks he's strong enough. And that was probably the reason why Freefall Simulator's doing its thing over there on goggles rather than the tiny bit of extra damage he could get, is he is hoping that somewhere near the end of this game, he has a fully quested orbital polisher that he can utilize. So I'm looking for him to possibly get out of that for the PvP fight, but maybe not. It's got another tool here. Watch him play just really stash tight. He's not overselling just in case he gets Barcoon, he gets extra gold. Gyro is huge. It's a little sad that it's at bronze on day 5. 2 bronzes on day 5. Flashbang. There's a lot of items that don't really matter on the aerial turret board because like it's just the things you could centralize around aerial turret's damage. And so then running things that have like crowd control effects is pretty good. So gyroscope's going to be some combat damage scaling. The goggles are just there for the shield. Again, he's like not running, like every item doesn't fully matter here. And so flashbang is just useful because the enemy. The left eye, right eye is unfortunate for this build because you can't force the crit chance. He goes ahead and just skips. He likes his skills. He knows left eye, right eye will never be able to land on aerial turret because it has to be surrounded on both sides. So rather than taking either, and he didn't have the money for the reroll, he just skips the skill. Reason being is if he goes to Nufu or to the Grandmaster, they have a much higher chance of showing you skills that you already have. Grandmaster only shows you skills you already have, which would give him a better chance to fully upgrade one of the good skills he has on his board. The big one being left-handed flat damage, but also just the crit eye, the weapon skill, etc., etc. He's up against the Lumbors. Lumbors has good damage scaling, but once Sixten gets down to 1 second, it's game over. Yeah. He's pretty well built here. Now, this board doesn't tend to go very late. I'm super curious to watch Sixten. Like, he's clearly choosing to dig in. He knows how to do this build significantly better than I do. He's going to go to Jules. I think he's going to take the free flat damage. That's just so much today. That can just be the difference. Yeah, that orbital polisher might not ever get done. He's going to go for the tool. Oh, man, another orbital polisher. There's just no way that quest gets. Dire Mosquito is an even bigger monster than the previous one. The mosquitoes are fucking terrifying, but he is very strong right now. He feels comfortable. Now, we didn't get to take these fights very much. They were changed a lot towards the end, so Sixten doesn't have a ton of practice on this. So his call that he's strong enough is you know, probably 50% skill and knowledge and 50% hunch. These are fights that we do not have the vibe of yet. And that slow deeply hurting him because it's costing. It meant the haste fell off. Turret didn't keep swinging. This got much slower because the slow landing there. 97 hit points left. That is incredibly close. That's the difference between going for that free chocolate bar he had that day versus paying for the upgraded chocolate bars. That saved him on the fight right there. Gonna do another on pig, I think. Only used 4 items. So where are you at right now, Walter? You finished your second run. Did you win both? $210 wins. Okay. 1 on Stelle, 1 on pig. Gonna do another pig, and you only ran 4 items on your last board. Tree, open side, tents, balcony. Oh yeah, you have almost the whole pig suite still available to you. That's huge. Looking for butterfly wing here. So butterfly wing can, yeah, if he's going all in, he dumps this free fall simulator, but it is such a good hedge into other lines. Doesn't want to do it. He's gonna grab a flare gun. So flare gun gives him a second cooldown while there's burn on the enemy, but it's not enough burn itself to stay there. So he's holding it a bit as a hedge in case he gets some other ways to like sustain burn on the board. Now, yeah, that's better than the goggles that are kind of doing nothing. They are start of combat flight. He is showing the right and left-handed here. He's realizing that that is taking damage away from his aerial turret. So I think he's deciding he might not do that. So what he's showing, maybe I can unmute him in case he's talking. He doesn't know that he's unmuted, so I'd have to tell him. Yeah, I think he's deciding he can't run any weapons because of the right and left-handed. He wants to force them both on aerial turret. So that's kind of unfortunate. Folks, I apologize. Our ad break's going to run, but I kind of can't stop Sixten. He has to go as fast as possible. This is the one time we run ads on the show while action is happening because I can't stop a competitor on a timed event. So I really apologize. Ad's going to run in 10 seconds. It'll be 3 minutes. I will try to make a note of what happens and catch you up on the other side. So those who are going to ad break, we will see you right back. He goes ahead and he wins that there. Again, this is a tempo board. He wins fairly handily. Yeah. Showing off my multicast is bigger than your multicast. Sterling is huge. Looking around to see what he wants on the upgrade here. Now, if he upgrades, he can't upgrade Wrench. Wrench is going to eventually get his orbital polishers for him. Free fall simulator's a hedge towards pivoting out of the line. I wonder if he's still considering doing that. Aerial turret itself is not that big. Honestly, upgrading his flashbang for the crowd control, getting extra ammo out of this, that's super interesting. Or is that more ammo? It doesn't show there. I'm gonna have to pull that up on my screen to see what it is. I'm not as familiar with that item yet because it's been changed. Oh, it's upping the slow, so it's adding an additional second of slow. Interesting. So I'm wondering, he doesn't need more haste because he kind of stays perma-hasted, but he would get a teeny tiny bit more flat damage scaling had he upgraded his Shadow Cloak. He's at Curio. He gets to do the flat damage stack. He's debating the cooldown reduction here. It's pretty expensive and he'd have to sell off to make board space, so he's just gonna avoid that. Butterfly could go to the right of Kara. Yeah, Revenge, and that's why he bought Butterfly. I had the same thought when Butterfly happened. Oh, he got deeply screwed here. Kara got stopped, so aerial turret's gonna miss a cast with multi, maybe 2 without multi. Oh, this is This is dangerous. Now, I think he's still going to be fine here. Finally is flying. Deeply tragic. And now Karakar is up to speed. Now it's fine. He's going to get through the extra shield chill he has, and he's going to be fine. But it is a little frustrating. He is a little vulnerable to this because he does not have a lot of active items on his board. He's only got 4 active items, which means freeze and slow are more he's more vulnerable to freeze slow. Got the ice cubes again. Again, he's getting like the worst in terms of value from his monster fight. Right Eye doesn't do anything for him again. He's gonna go ahead and re-roll. He's gonna use the large item as just in case he does hedge out of this build. And if he has a loss, expect him to move out of this build because he is playing a pure tempo game. And if he has to go much later, he's gonna stop. The wrench upgrade means all of his tools will eventually get up to diamond. He's not actively running many tools. He's not going to do it. And that's such a good pass and reroll. Gets rewarded with the headset. Huge. He's going to have to start cashing back in now, building up some money. Middle is really strong, but he's just going to have to pass and go for something that's going to give money. Yeah, you get rid of free fall because it's bronze. It is important on a lot of builds he could want to move into long term, but it's not going to do it at bronze, and he can't waste so much upgrade potential. He is more likely to find it flat at gold and pick it back up this way. And okay, he's in a little bit of danger. I wonder how fast he is here, but that depth charge is going to lock down his whole board for a little bit. He only has 4 active items, so expect absolutely everything to get frozen when that goes off. If he doesn't finish the fight before then, he might be in trouble. Oh, closes it out. Look at how strong that is. Gosh, that board is terrifying. Now, I just would not have seen the Shadow Cloak line as being this strong. Sixten did and immediately started changing his econ line. Wonder what... Okay. Oh, first of all, he's got an upgraded goggles, so he's just going to swap in the gold. He can also throw away the silver now, which means that he's not going to waste his wrench upgrade on that, and he has a better chance of upgrading his orbital polishers. He's hoping for Dragonheart, because if nothing else, that's 50 gold, and then he suddenly, even after all of this digging in, can do a full board pivot, which would be huge if he finds something really strong like a dagger wing. Dreaming of big money here. The skill also just like is a hedge into a couple of lines like Skyliner, and there's just a lot of value here. Everything but the small skill is a lot of money here. So that's 16 gold. That's pretty massive. He is now in the and he gets the tool upgrade skill. He's now in the money. He's gonna go to Isla, see if he wants to put himself together a dagger wing board. There it is. He can do it. He is still really strong right now. I think he's got a debate. He's just gonna pass. I wonder what he's looking for. He knows something about how he's built, and it looks like he's going Swallowtail. Sold off his haste. Decides he's going Swallowtail. Now, he is very confident that this is a good line. He was talking about it before, that Swallowtail is actually pretty powerful for a 10-win run. But I'm curious, without the haste, how strong it is right now. Aerial turret's not going to get up in the air, so it's going to do next to nothing. But if he does this, Swallowtail maybe doesn't go right away. I'm not sure it matters. I gotta look up Swallowtail. I do not get to see that item. I have not played with that much. So when you use a flying item, haste that item for 1 second. When another item is hasted, charge this 1 second. Yeah. So what's going to happen here is aerial turret is going to spam, and as it spam, it gets hasted. So this is why he immediately threw away that shadow cloak, is he knew he already is going to get haste on aerial turret every time that it swings. So he already effectively has the same mechanic there. He just doesn't have the combat scaling, but it was very little combat scaling, and he trades it out for charge on his Swallowtail, which is additional flat damage and quite a lot of shield. Look at the difference. The last fight he finished with a third of his HP bar. This fight he finishes with 1,400 extra shield. Quickly spotting the line as being a huge power increase. I did not. That was impressive. Gonna just pick this up for the sale. Sterling, gotta wonder if that's worth doing versus going to pull and looking for the upgrade. Vortex Cannon gets everything in the air, not it. Launch Tower. Is Launch Tower aligned with this? This is a haste board. I'm not super familiar how it plays. Is he going to Hang Glider? He doesn't have any stops. I'm curious how this works here. Your other items start flying. Your flying weapons gain 25 damage. Yeah, I knew Launch Tower will get everything in the air right at the start of combat. And then it also will use your item. So he's doing that instead to get the item up. Does it start and stop, though? I don't understand this board, y'all. We're learning it together here. So let me take a look at Hang Glider. Okay, your other items start flying. Your flying weapons gain damage, so it's scaling damage on your items, which is going to scale a shield as well. When your items stop flying, deal 125 damage. He doesn't have any stop activators right now, so he's going to look for something like Marshalling Lights at some point. He was that slow, so he's trying to figure out what's going to get the most swings. I think Aerial Turret is not going to play in the very long-term board, so he might not do that. Headset's going to slow, not for very long, but on every single activation of something getting into the air. So it's a bunch of like opening slow. Swallowtail would be more spam. He's going to just go for a bunch of slow kind of as soon as Hang Glider activates. Passes on all of that, keeps passing on Daggerwing. Mag Shield, Marshalling Lights. Curious if Marshalling Lights is the play so that he could take advantage of the stop portion of Hang Glider. He knows he's never gonna finish the quest on the Orbital Polisher, so he's just gonna get rid of the Orbital Polisher. He's not in a start-stop build. He doesn't get to ground stuff as much. He'll do a little more now, but he's just like, he's 7 days away from completing that quest and knows it's not worth doing. Now, the question is he going to move out of Aerial Turret to start putting things on his board that he can do more start-stop on so that he could get more haste? So the idea is every time something gets up into the air and brought back down into the air, or every time something gets up into the air, it gets hasted. Every time it gets hasted, it gets Swallowtail gets a charge. I'm wondering if like airplane Marshalling Lights shouldn't go in place of Aerial Turret. Moving his crit over to Swallowtail so he can crit both damage and shield. Okay, I don't entirely know what this board does, so I'm going to be able to learn it with you and talk it out. Everything gets up in the air and gets a bunch of initial haste, which puts a bunch of crit on both Swallowtail and the gun, which is the reason why he moved his positioning so that the crit lands on the 2 active items. The damage that comes out of Hang Glider is passive, and so it doesn't crit. These are just so much haste and so much crit. What am I missing here? What is the generator of all of the extra haste right now? Is that Swallowtail? Hold on real quick. Again, I'm really sorry. This is a build I just have not seen. Oh, when you use a flying item, haste. Gotcha. So the entire purpose is to just be spamming items while they are in the air. Radar Dome can give multicast to things. Wondering if he's going to go for that hedge. He'd have to quest it out. Golden Freefall Sim is super fast, sets him up for other board states, but Swallowtail wants everything to stay in the air. Yeah, so I was confused at Hang Glider. Hang Glider can benefit from stopping because it does a lot of damage scaling when it stops, or damage when it stops. But Swallowtail wants everything to be in the air and spam as fast as possible. So he's just using it as a full board fly activator with a little bit of extra damage. Shiny Windbreaker, Jesus. It's a lot of shield. He can get a lot of hit points and regen, but he only has 3 more days and a little bit of money if he goes for the food item. It's a lot of gold right now if he wanted to buy and sell the Windbreaker. He's kind of running into an embarrassment of riches here. I think he's got a lot of hedges into a lot of different things, a lot of money here. The 5% hit points is huge. Just 5% flat HP. I don't think he's going to be able to complete the quest line, but I don't think it matters. I think you just grab it and sell. So he was debating between lots and lots of money, like an obscene amount of money, or the 5% HP. He decided to go for the money. He's aiming for full arsenal. He's showing us he has a weapon. He has a tool, I believe, in the goggles. Yeah, he has a tool in the goggles, and he has vehicles. So he's got all the cooldown reduction pieces. Now his items are a little slow. So the turret gets there and becomes incredibly fast, obviously. It's a multicast 1 second at the end of the fight, but it takes him a little while to ramp up. But he is on curve right now. Yeah, he sold the shiny that was just there for the money, sold off his toolbox. When you haste freeze, he gets an early start of combat freeze. Going into the skills here. Your weapons have 10 damage for each flying item you have, so it's a little bit of flat damage. It's got to be Thrill of the Flight here for 10% cooldown reduction on all of his items. It's incredibly strong. Gonna go for the XP. Sucks that was up against Isla. He would really like a Swallowtail upgrade at some point. But I think he's still strong. Look at his hit point pool. 4,000 on Stelle on day 9 is pretty strong. Let's see what opponent Stelle's been able to pull off in terms of... Yeah, he's using Hang Glider only for scaling. Thanks, Rebeja. Yeah, he was not set up for Dagger Wing at the time. Oh no, he's up against a Space Laser. Can he close this fast enough against all the shield? That's a shielded Vortex Cannon. And then all the shield from Swallowtail. So there's a lot of defense, a lot of charge happening. He's got a race. The shield keeps coming in. I think he's got it. He's... Oh! Has about a second and a half to spare. Enemy Vortex shielding up. Swallowtail shielding. It's a little terrifying. I'm going to unmute Sixten in case he has commentary as we go here. I know he's not going to talk much because he doesn't know he's unmuted, but he might occasionally give us a scream or a shout when a fight's that close. So I just want to see if we get some reaction out of him. He's showing us that he's going for Foreboding Winds, of course. He gets almost complete crit chance out of the goggles on the first couple of swings. Definitely by the end of the fight, he'd be able to just literally double his damage from those 2 items. Doesn't get it. Basilisk Fang, the usual result. Might be going for a cooldown reduction here. Crit chance is fine, not the best. Again, Goggles solves most of this problem for him. Tox Clock looking for, could be getting, oop, there it is, Swallowtail. It is a haste item. It is the only like power large you're gonna see here. Also re-rolling, seeing if he finds the headset upgrade. Does not find it. Fairly limited pool, and 2 of the most powerful items on his board were there, so that was a good shot for him. Debating if Vulcus Enforcer is gonna screw him with the freeze. I don't when you shield freeze would be what he was thinking of at Volcus. There's the large item burn skill, and I forget, he doesn't have any burn synergy right now. But there's launch tower. I think he likes hang glider over launch tower, just because of the combat scaling, but it's not, doesn't feel like it's doing a ton. Launch tower is just a little faster at start of combat instead of waiting 4 seconds for the flight, so you get your haste right away. But hang glider is another active item, so that is more charge. Nothing here. Gonna go for the chocolate bars again. Always eat your chocolate bars. Doing just he's trying to do an 11-day. Lost one unfortunate early run and has otherwise been on rails. Playing amazingly here. Playing quick, he is catching up. He's going to probably finish this out in 45 minutes, gives himself the full hour for the second run. I may have just cursed him. I shouldn't say shit like that. We don't know. Oh, Obsidian Molten Ball Blaster. That is a fast board he is up against. Oh. Incredibly fast board. Now, the upside is he is running a lot of shield, so he mitigates the 343 burn that is on him. So that burn would have really been wrecking him. That is a really good Molten Ball Blaster board, but he just did not get through all of the shield he's able to put out. He is describing a bug here. I'm going to go ahead and talk. What's the I love it, Sixten. Beautiful BM, my friend. Okay, I let him hear that one. Submits the bug ticket to complain about his opponent getting screwed. There's your highlight reel, y'all. Debating between hit points and health. I think he knows he's got a pretty fast build. He's also been hit point stacking very strongly this whole game, so I think he knows like multiplying that's going to be a little bit better than the tiny bit of flat. The bug report feature was improved. Yeah, they upgraded everything, man. This was a massive patch with massive upgrades. Absolutely wrecks the monster fight. Gets the nearly useless solar drone. Gonna go to Andy, see if he could upgrade one of his two smalls here. Ornithopter snap grabs. That's a second off of a cooldown. Another active flying item that's fairly fast. He's gonna now get rid of, I believe, aerial turret. I'm not sure how he fits that actually. Not sure what, again, I don't know this line as well. Do you want the flat damage on just hang glider, which isn't that much? 10 more flat. Or do you want the shield every time you swing? He's going for the shield. How do you do Orny here? I'm curious what the setup is. I think he's curious what the setup is too. He doesn't have another item that can get in the sky. So I think he's just hedging it in case he gets another, like a Nicola or something maybe. He keeps running into opponents with these, oh my god, this is a full freeze board. He's got to get under this. He's in danger if he gets Swallowtail locked down. The hammer is getting supercharged, is just dead before it gets to swing. He's fine. And that's it. That is a fast 10 winner. Nice game, my friend. Congratulations.
Thank you. If only the first was just a warm-up game.
I know you got
Eh,
the GooseFathr curse. Walter's first game had the exact same horrible matchup, horrible vendor luck the last time I cast him.
all right.
That was done incredibly fast. You caught up. Now you have an hour and 2 minutes left to finish the
All
next
right.
run. You want to
This is
just
the same strategy.
Yep.
So you can commentate.
Cool. You want
Stuff.
me to mute? All right, I'm gonna mute.
Yeah,
You go
that
back
works.
to it. Good luck, my friend. All right, run number 3. Unfortunately, I mean, we don't know how many people are doing triple Stelle. I don't know if there is going to be a 310 winner. But I doubt that 25 is gonna win. Unfortunately, that first run might have taken him out of contention. Nonetheless, still a lot to learn, still fun gameplay. Again, I'm not 100% sure. Not everyone is doing triple Stelle. Very few people are. Most people are kind of alternating between the heroes to go for the other prize. One guy 310 wins on Stelle with all 3 boards completely unique. All right, if somebody already did it, then that's that. So he gets an early Karakara, super flexible early game item, has a lot of build options. Gonna get both of these things up in the air and add flat damage if this is what he runs with, but he's still looking for like what his board's gonna be. Grabs 2 tools, one of those, and then there's Molten Ball Blaster. Oh, he could go back into the aerial turret line. He has Karakara. He could go into the Molten Ball Blaster line. I know he prefers aerial turret. Doesn't really have to worry about board uniqueness because the first loss means that's not really a consideration. He's going to go ahead and just pick the stronger line in aerial turret. Doesn't really matter because he didn't end with aerial turret on his board anyway. So he's... Yep. He's just going to set up. So he wants only items that can fly on the board. He wants to see if he could get that. Yeah, he has to sell something important to get that upgrade. It is flat damage, so it is strong, but he would run short on his board today. He's going to decide not to do it because he has Pip and he might need to reroll. Oh, man, that was such a good line. Ends up now, yep, he's gonna have to leave an empty space here if he wants right-handed to hit his actually there's a way to finagle this. Hold on. Because Karakara will only lift 1 adjacent, if disc is already in the air because it flies itself, Karakara will still force the lift on aerial turret. And then the other one lifts itself. So I think he actually could have ran that and been fine. The disc would have lifted itself before Karakara. Karakara would have then been forced to lift aerial turret. And he could have gotten damage out of all of them. It's a teeny tiny bit of damage, but you know, everything you can do day one. He is up against a pig with damage scaling, but slow weapons. He's going to get a big chunk to the face here. And then... the question is, Pig's not going to kill him unless he gets another Regal Blade swing. Can we kill him before that Regal? It's going to be very close, and I think he does it. Look at that. Nice, day one. The opponent had combat scaling, but aerial turret gets to go burr. So... Grinder, Karakara turret had been staples. Yeah, it is a great opening one. Hey, Go Test Fungal Spore. Welcome. We had a bad day one, just lots of tragedy. Some of the most horrific early matchups I've seen, unfortunately. And so that was a 5-win run. Yesterday was smooth on rails as butter. Played aerial turret into Swallowtail. Won on day 11. Dropping just day 2. He's going to go for loot just for some free econ here. Gets a little bit of free shield on top of it. Moving that off his board again so that he can focus focus the damage. Again, he can just leave a gap and put something there. Yeah, leave the gap means that Karakara has to lift aerial turret and won't waste its opening lift. So again, the reason this board works the way it does is aerial turret needs to be flying to get the multicast, and when it swings, it lowers its cooldown. If it's not in the air on its first swing, it's a whole extra activation cycle. So it ends up being 3 seconds longer until it gets down to a 1 second mad spin. And so you do not want to accidentally get your, like, if you only have one thing that you're able to make fly, you want to force it on aerial turret. Now, there is timing stuff here that I think he could play around a little bit, which is if the other adjacent is flying when Karakara goes off, it will not waste its flying activation on the other item. It will be forced to put it onto aerial turret. So I do believe that he could run even the start stop. It doesn't matter. He's got gyroscope. That's a perfect windbreak. He now gets to put that between anything else on the board. So it makes it really easy. But he could also run something like the disc, which is going to get itself up in the air before Karakara activates, which means Karakara would still be forced to hit aerial turret. But he's got some good other options here. Holy GG to him, well deserved. Whoopsie whoopsie rating with the party of 8. Welcome, welcome. Sorry, everybody. I have forgotten to mention to this point, we do not have any alerts on right now. I didn't want any interruptions to the cast or other things. So any follows or subs or anything that have happened, I apologize. I'm not going to be able to call them out right now. I'm not necessarily seeing them all. So he's got parachute. I'm not sure. It only like really works. It's in silver, so that's a lot of regen. But it only really works when items start or stop flying, and he's only going to start one item flying. Oh yeah, he can't use gyro. Gyro can fly. I forgot. That's not a windbreak. He actually needs to leave it in there. I really wonder why he's not doing the disc line, to be honest with you. Maybe I'm wrong on that. I know this will put itself back down. Eventually, Karakara will pick it back up, but aerial turret will be staying in the air, so it doesn't matter at that point. And then gyro would work on that, and then you get a little bit more regen. So I'm just a little bit curious on that line. He got second last tournament. Oh, wow. Classy again. Classy is a monster. 27 wins. Surely several people will get 30. Apparently there is already a 30 win. I'm sorry I wasn't watching this Mac who was doing some serious damage, but still got turreted to the face. Apparently there's somebody who already got 30 wins on Stelle with all unique items on the board. I don't know what the prestige is at, but the tiebreaker is not only a 30 win, but a 30 win without any duplication. So that is an incredibly high bar. I know Walter has 2 10 wins and did not duplicate. He is playing his second game on Pig, but there's only 4 items on his previous board, and they were all a specific property line, so it is very unlikely. He's not going to be forced to get into that. So Walter does have a chance. I don't know what his prestige is at, so it's very likely going to come down to prestige on the total victory. Debating where the upgrade is here. He goes for the flat damage on aerial turret. He got the joystick, which is going to give a little bit of charge. Joystick OP. Big scar not give flying. Oh, he's telling us this. I'm going to let him know. Hey, Sixten, I do have your sound on, so you can talk to us when you want to. But that is a super fun way to let us know something. And we love the BM where you told the game to buff your opponent's board. That was beautiful. I'm going to mute myself again, but if you want to tell us something like that, you can.
Yeah.
So he's saying that there are timings on this type of thing. You cannot let aerial turret use its first swing before it's airborne, or else it doesn't get the cooldown reduction from the multicast. So he was just letting us know that he actually does not want to upgrade that joystick because it will like break his timing and actually make him on the whole slower. I wonder why he doesn't just shove Oh, yeah, he could shove Karakara to the left side of the board and be able to put one more thing on his board, but he still will not be able to put a weapon, or else then it will steal his right-handed. So I don't think he has anything that like would help him. Goggles could actually be on the board right now. Does he still have the goggles? Got a catalyst here. You got to be very careful when you get a catalyst when you're selling it. Make sure you don't overwrite anything important on your board. It's going to go to Artisan Dunes for the flat damage, possibly. Yep. Is he going to pay the extra gold for 10? Yes, he is. That's how important damage is on this build. He's maybe going to upgrade. Okay, toolbox for the income line. So he is not all inning, or rather just like free tools are good too. Yep. So, oh, wow. What a hit. So he has a gold chocolate bar. He decides to use his catalyst that he got from the monster on the chocolate bar. You do not want to sell that with live items on your board because you'll re-roll them. Just because he can hit something random that's gold. He managed to hit a very good gold item in Calipers. Calipers cooldown gets brought down at every level. It is currently a 5-second charge all small items, or haste all small items for 2 seconds. It's pretty strong. I wonder, so that means his joystick's going to get more activations, but it doesn't happen until after Kara goes right now, so there's no chance of joystick desyncing. So it's just gonna get an extra button press in there, 2 seconds faster on the second swing, getting Karakar to crash face, or getting aerial turret to crash face a little bit faster. Goggles are just there for some free shield, because why the hell not? Jetpack's there to haste the button to get it just like right as close as possible, as much haste as possible, so that he can get the swings in early, get the multicast. He's up against a pretty weird, just mishmash pig board that's not fully together, but cargo shorts, you can see there, are insane with the shield skill and a heal skill. So when they go, that was a lot of heal. That was like 240 heal and 400 shield that he got out of that one volley of cargo shorts. That is a whole board doing a whole lot of nothing. But when you get some flat on cargo shorts right now, it's really, he got a second calipers out of his, can go for the third, or the upgrade to his existing here. So he is building into the haste line now. So there's a couple of boards that utilize haste specifically. If you !guide, you can see our, we have a written guide. It has categories, and there's a couple of categories, like Pill Buggy has haste scaler, and Swallowtail that you saw him use before is also a haste scaler board. Both of those boards utilize haste. Then there is the tool line, which is like a Molten Ball Blaster. And I think there's a later version of that line as well, that really utilizes calipers. But you could go to a thing like that, Control F, type in the word calipers and see what other lines use it. There's a pressure heater board that runs that item well. And a firecracker board that can do it and is really fun, but kind of rare. And Space Laser is the other major hedge that Caliper plays really well in. Can also utilize it in hang glider boards. Just a pure built hang glider board will try to stop cycle as fast as possible and run a bunch of small, so there's a lot more active items, and so the full board haste is good there as well. So he's just building into hedges for a couple of different lines. Did he get the precision tool skill? Oh crap, he got precision tools and I talked right over it. Let's go ahead and check. Decision tool reads, when one of your tools are hasted, your tools gain 5, 10, 15 damage for the fight. Again, he has 2 items, a 6-second and a 5-second full board haste. So if he had any tools, now that might make him be interested in something. Like, it would be really weird to pivot into Molten Ball Blaster late, as we saw the BM from the last line. When you hate crit, so now all that haste is giving crit chance to his board. That's pretty good. But he happens to be weirdly set up for that. Hatchet, don't see Hatchet every day as a non-pig player. He correctly just moves Hatchet to the left, dumps the truffle on it, sells it for the 4 full gold value. That is the most gold you can get out of a silver small item. Not technically true if you had a full stash and you got a piggy bank and you had a lot of gold to feed into your piggy bank. After about 6 days, you could make more money off of, or 6 hours, you can make more money off of the piggy bank. But you know, that's a long hedging line. There's some pig trivia for you. Okay. Now, I wonder how close, again, both of his calipers go off after Karakara puts aerial turret in the air. So there's absolutely no danger of desyncing. It's just all stuff that's going to speed up the joystick. But again, he can't upgrade joystick because the initial push can't happen early enough to desync the flight. At some point, he might want to, I don't know, Karakara also gives the flat damage. This is a very strong weapons board he's up against. The crit, huge. That's going to end it. He closes it out. That's actually not a very strong weapon board. Sorry, it is a weapon board. But not a lot of damage scaling on his shuriken. There's a lot of stuff there for reloading instead of just more flat damage. It's mid-range weapons, which is not really a thing. Gold bar is more valuable from a silver item. Nope. Gold bar at silver is, oh, yeah, it is 10, but you can get more out of a piggy bank. So free fall sim would be a hedge, but it's bronze, so he decides not to do it. It's not exactly what you want at bronze. He's on a perfect tempo run. This is gonna fall off. It's starting to fall off. I wonder what he's debating here with the jetpack. He's gonna throw it away. What is he gonna throw it away for? Oh, okay. He's got a better. Gotcha. He has a wait, does that brick him? Because he's the one that just informed us about that bricking him. So maybe he's got a plan to get Kara flying sooner. I'm not sure. Or maybe he's just deciding that getting into combat a little slower is fine if he can spam. You got to move everything over so Karakara still keeps its lift directly on Rivet Gun. I'm curious to see how this works here. You can go to clock for the skill upgrade, and there's also the shield when haste skill, which is pretty good. He's just going to go for more money. Yeah, cooldown 7 seconds. I see. Charge, swing, happened before. Yep, I see. Wondering why you're doing it. So he didn't get rid of the smaller joystick. So it might be that he just wanted to demo this. Yep, I think he's just teaching us. 977 with Stelle feels bad, man. Sorry, buddy. It is tough on Stelle out here. Sixten got wrecked with a 5 on his first. So if Sixten 10 wins, you still tied him, my friend. That's how rough it is out here. Actually, no, if he 10 wins, he'll be ahead of that because my math sucks. But it is tough out here for Stells. 27, nice rotten pickle. Oh no, Walter lost. Oh, I'm sorry, buddy. Yeah, Mega Curse. Yeah, Pig is tough right now. Flawless 9 wins in my first game, only to lose 3 times. Oof. Oof. Yeah, the day 9, 10, 10, 11, 12 lost cash out is the most brutal. It's the worst. Because that day 10 is all about a bad matchup, but then day 11 is that you had a day 10 cash out board that didn't get to cash out, and then day 12 is just salt. Okay, Matchbox Hypergreen value scaling board. Those Piggles are going to go get scaled pretty hard. Oh, no, they don't get a lot of value scaling in combat. This isn't sponsored apparel, it's display case. So he has so much heal and cleanse here. Decent amount of shield. A lot of burn. We're in danger. That's just a lot of heal.
Can you hear me, Goose?
Yes, I can.
I just want to make sure.
Yes, sir, I totally can.
Okay, good. So I misplayed here. I should have kept the bronze one. As you saw in this fight, it took us much longer to get 1 second. And then the issue is that this extra charge doesn't matter when it's at 1 second. So never upgrade the joystick if you have a Karakara. It's only good if you have a Ornithopter.
Yeah,
which we might get, but yeah.
You were the one who told us that in the chat, so I was wondering why you made the upgrade play.
So my idea was that I had so much health. First of all, I wanted to keep the bronze one around, first of all. So I just wanted to highlight to you guys that that doesn't work. But then I figured when I bought the chocolate that I might as well sell the old one, because eventually I'm going to find a faster fly provider.
That's true.
Kara.
Like Orny or something.
In that fight, you saw how it almost got scary because of this.
Yeah.
Even with the temp health.
Yeah.
So yeah, just it was a mistake, but it was for educational purposes, sort of.
Good tip. Yep.
All right, I'll get back to the run.
All right, you have 40 minutes, my friend. You're doing great on time.
All right.
Rip to a Bazaar podcast winning. Wait, did Metal play the tournament? Is Metal in the tournament? There's one more of the Bazaar podcast team. Gonna just YOLO it. If you've already gone past the bronze, there's no reason not to get it going even faster. If you're already desynced, you might as well like make up for it. Why is a bronze joystick better? I missed it. So aerial turret gets multicast from Karakara, right? You saw there, because of the joystick went so fast, aerial turret got its first swing before Karakara got it up into the air. Because of that, it doesn't have multicast, so it only gets one swing. Every time aerial turret swings, it reduces its cooldown by 1 second. So the bronze one means that it gets flying and then charge and then gets 2 swings and reduces its cooldown by 2 seconds. The silver means its first swing doesn't do multicast, which means it only takes 1 second off. So on the whole, you get down to a 1 second cast time slower and do a total less damage with the silver, just because of that weird desync. It's a very weird interaction that just takes a lot of play to get used to. He's gonna go large and see if he finds it. He finds Hang Glider. That's just gonna put it up in the air. No longer has to worry about that hot nonsense of positioning or anything. Everything gets to fly now. And then he's got a lot of fast haste items on the board already. Is he debating launch tower for start of combat flight? So he gets in combat scaling now also with Hang Glider. I don't think he wants to live forever in an aerial turret board, but that was all his gold. Yep, now can go ahead and put the goggles in. So the haste that he's getting from the calipers is just going to put crit chance on his items. He can't utilize left eye and right-handed, so he has to decide which goes where. The only items that can crit right now are those 3 items crammed together. So left eye is going to fall on Hang Glider because his haste and his slow package can't crit. Seeing what he's looking at here. Oh, he was just paying for the reroll. Wrench can slowly upgrade his goggles, but it's not necessarily something that's worth selling off for. Can just kind of hope he gets goggle upgrade popping out of his toolbox, or just has enough to sell off later. He, if you're wondering why he did that small sell a little early, it was 1 for the reroll, but 2 because he knew he had to have 2 empty spaces anyway, so he might as well do the reroll in case something amazing was worth selling off for, so that he had space to catch the new 2 items out of his drone and his toolbox. He is up against a big heal pig with laser security system as the only damage source. It gains damage every time the property goes off. It gains damage equal to the value of the property, and the property value is slowly being scaled by the piggles. The problem with this build is, while it has a crazy amount of heal, it does very slow damage. Laser security system is 9 seconds, I believe, at silver. So he only gets 3 swings in a fight with that,
It's
and the
going to be
first 2
hard
swings.
to win the tiebreaker here for me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh,
Shoot,
we're gonna go ahead and
Right.
let him know. Oh, the hammer. So I think there's already a 30 win Stelle run, so you don't have to do any unique board nonsense shenanigans. You could just play around playing the best run you want.
Yeah. Sounds good.
Okay. Just wanted to make sure he knew that. He's back muted. He can't hear me talk anymore. Wanted to make sure he knew so he could just like play the most instructive best line he can and not kind of manipulate his play around weird mechanics. Oof. XP versus upgrade. It's only 10 flat, and he now has combat scaling. The skills are, there you go. You get some charge. If that charge happens to land on aerial turret, you get down to the 1 second even faster. Gonna do some Chili Charles wreckage here. So now that he moved out of Karakara, he does not care about the sinking situation. Actually, kind of does. I think the freeze came into effect here, but the hang glider should happen in 4 seconds at the same time that joystick goes. So joystick should not prevent the multicast unless that joystick had cooldown reduction at any point, which I don't think it did. I didn't get to see that. I wonder if you throw away your goggles hoping for a better pair here, or you just get the tool from the docks, because nope, weapon from the docks. Yeah, those aren't gonna make it. He is still holding on to tools in his stash just in case he gets the level up reward that gives him extra money. Money is always a problem.
I should have gone with tool there, of course, for hammer.
Oh, yeah. Taking tools so that hammer can get upgraded. I wonder where the quest is. Do you know what your quest is on your orbital polishers right now?
I can show you after the
Okay.
fight here.
Just curious where they're at. I know that there's a lot to do on them though.
Yeah, with this kind of line, you can min-max, but I don't know.
No, I was just curious where they were. Okay.
Yeah.
If you had something like a marshalling lights, you can swap out some things. 12 and I wasn't looking the second he did it, so I know the rightmost one is more. So maybe somebody in chat saw that while I didn't. That's fine. I'm not going to bug him again. He's on pace for a perfect run. Every time I talk to him, I notice that like it gets him to second guess a line. Very likely part of the difficulty of the first run is him trying to play to us, to the teaching while playing. It's very distracting, makes it hard to make a lot of decisions. Wondering what's happening here. He probably stepped away for a second for the monster fight. So we're missing a little bit of the board here, but that's fine. There's not a ton of burn. Oh no, there's a ton of burn, and he's gonna life steal up. I think we're gonna be fine. Oh, this is gonna be very close. No, he healed up already. The life preserver gave him 600 heal, was not nearly enough to do anything. Okay, it was a volcanic vents over there on the right, so it was a decent amount of burn, but it's just not a super strong board. $20 on the right and on the left. 310 wins on Stelle. I lost 5 fights total. Awesome, Alan Chen. How many dupes did you have on your board, my friend? Did you know the duplicate rule? So the tiebreaker isn't by prestige first. It is by unique items. So if you used same items across multiple monster fights, you lose some points that you could otherwise get. Yep, the weapon skill, the crit skill is pretty decent. You can then just probably put these things adjacent to each other. He's telling the game what he wants. Give me sharpened steel, he says. Yeah, Stell's very hard to do right now. Gonna take relax. It's pretty big for today. Damage enchant, is he just gonna dig into this board permanently? I think he kind of has to. At this point. Debating between burn and poison. Does he think he's gonna face shield is the question here. Burn is faster damage. Poison gets through shield. He is punching him in the face, so that should be clearing off most shield anyway. There's very few boards that are going to pile up enough shields he can't punch through and still be something, and still not do enough damage that he could get completely under him with just the poison. But it is still a board that he could go up against, so he's going to go ahead with the poison line. Yeah, he's showing us that the enchants have been changed. So they used to be 10% of the damage that you have as poison. Now they're down to 5%. So it is a significant reduction in total power on those. You went for the temporary boost, got some more flat damage. Got one more poison out of the deal. He's debating maybe running Icicle in case he can snipe the enemy core. Wondering if it's better in place of his 5-second hasty caliper. Decides against it. I think that's correct. The Dooley runs pretty wide. It's pretty unlikely that that hits like a critical target. Oh. Except this is a much thinner board with very few active items. So it actually had a slightly better chance here of hitting something important. This is a charging station launcher core. Pretty interesting opponent build. I'm not at all familiar with this. Look at that spam burn coming onto Sixten, doing a lot, but does not get through the shield from relax. That looked really fast, just no real amount of burn. Has not been flat stacking that burn, so 8 even at that speed didn't end up meaning much. Gonna go to Andy here. Upgrade wrench or grab wrench. He now gets to start upgrading his goggles for free, which is great. He is not running a headset. It's just another haste activator. It would be probably in place of his flashbang. Checking his orbital polishers. They're not very far along. He's going to get rid of the loot generator. And he's going to upgrade his flare gun in case he decides he wants to run that at some point. Actually, I just realized the flare gun right now. Oh, Ornithopter. There we go. We're golden. Orny is going to reduce the cooldown of his hang glider. Moves back to get the haste trigger in between the two there. So if he went burn, he would have been able to use the gun to get permanent cooldown reduction. Now, I don't know if that's better than what he was doing before in terms of speed. He might be deciding that just the general, like, haste and stuff is doing more, and I don't know enough to know. But just a line I just thought of in terms of the burn enchant. I kind of forgot that he had that in his stash. Nothing here that's worthwhile. Moving on. Gonna go Duelist for the lifesteal skill would be insane. Strength would not be nothing. There's also a start of combat haste on the smalls that is possible. I'm not sure if that'd be worthwhile or not. It would mean that opening haste would get on a second faster. And he would start his like charge up sooner. But he would lose the full board slow, which has been pretty strong. Okay, y'all, I'm sorry to tell you we have an ad break coming up here. I'm going to see if Sixten's going to be willing to... Actually, you know, we're just going to miss a little bit of shopping. I think he's going to get to the monster fight. I don't want to get in his head to get him to play around us, so I'm really sorry about that. I generally will always stop action for ads, but this isn't my action to stop, so I really apologize. I don't want to mess with the man's tournament run. That's going to happen in 1 minute and 40 seconds. I'll kind of let you know when it goes. I can give recap when the ad's done in terms of what happens on the fight in case it happens on the fight. This is being recorded live to VOD, so you can rewatch right away in the VOD. He's looking at Flashy Pilot, which would give him crit chance. Those goggles are doing next to nothing right now. And so that steps up a little bit in their place. The two together still probably aren't going to full crit him for a while, maybe by the end of the fight. Let's see. He's wanting to go in haste. Wonder what the setup switch is going on here. Putting the right-handed on his aerial turret. Cool line. So he got the eject skill. Thank you for showing me, Sixten. If he dies, eject will destroy a vehicle and save his life. And so he knows that hang glider might go up in smoke. So what the line happening here that he was considering is moving so right-handed was on his aerial turret. He just realized, though, if hang glider explodes, right-handed falls to aerial turret anyway. If he puts Orny on the board, Orny can be the thing to explode, and then hang glider still holds the right-handed. So I think he was thinking through how that operation happens in case he dies. That eject is a huge skill. Heals you half of your health. It's a heal, so you get the cleanse for it. He is up against Plague Glaive. It's got some multicast, but it's pretty slow in its scaling. It did get to swing, but it didn't do too much. Mostly just a poison board. Bit of a weak opponent. I mean, that was a lot of poison pretty fast, but in terms of like the mid-range effect, like that's basically a face rush board because it's not doing a crap ton of regen like Mac often does, right? And a face rush board that's doing predominantly poison isn't terribly strong. It's just like not as fast. Wrench, hammer decides against both.
I should have bought the lights there to farm the polishers.
Yeah, I should have.
We're so close here.
So he knows he doesn't need to upgrade hammer. He actually can't upgrade hammer. Once the orbital polisher
create that skill he has.
Once the orbital polisher quest is done, he can dump it on hammer, and then hammer does not have the restrictions orbital polisher has. So hammer can it can upgrade an item at any tier, a gold or below, and it can add the shiny enchant to any size item. So the trick right now, until they're probably going to nerf it soon, is that you orbital polisher onto a equal or lower tier hammer. Oh man, that is a lot of damage. She does have eject here. And then you drop the hammer on a large item and you can make it shiny and upgraded at the same time. So he dies, Ornithopter explodes, and he still wins the fight. Eject, eject, saving lives since 2025. Extract, cool. Just some flat poison. One of the few times it's not actually useless. You want to do a day 10 pivot out of your perfect board into a wrecking ball? This is well, if I die, maybe I do some nonsense. No, he decides not to. Probably correct. Swallowtail, he is already completely built for a Swallowtail board. He's just insane amounts of haste. Everything will be flying. Everything will trigger. It's a strong play. I don't know if it's technically stronger than today already is. And he has the poison enchant. He's ready to close out a perfect run. So he decides he's not going to change course. He is not even going to go for the upgrade. He is just all inning right now on the fact that he is really up on tempo. So especially with eject, 50% effectively more hit points. He's got start of combat, big slow. Not start of combat, sorry. That's like midway in. That's probably 6 seconds into the fight, but a big ass slow. We'll see how it goes. Zweeble is already at last chance with only 6 wins, but you never know what that enchant did to his now deadly weaponized core. This is
the perfect matchup. Low health, and then we have this.
So this is face rush against face rush, and Sixten's been eating his chocolate bars and has a cheat death. So this is exactly what he wants to do. Beats him down easy. Perfect run. Perfect 10 winner. Congratulations, my friend. Perfect 10 winner.
Yeah.
I was surprised you didn't want to go Swallowtail, but I guess you kind of knew that it was in the bag.
No, I don't know that it improved the board. The problem with Swallowtail is that I can't fit joystick and flashbang.
Oh, right.
I lose out on charge or I lose out on slow. And then I have these for haste, and then I have, static. So it was hard to justify it, but yeah.
That's
otherwise,
fair.
I like that item. Anyway, here we go.
Cool, man.
Well,
what are your thoughts on the runs in general? How are you feeling about the runs in general?
I'm really happy about the second two. Of course, if I knew I had a chance, I couldn't have gone for this build because it's the same back-to-back, but
yeah,
I just wanted to get over the line. I think on the first one, maybe the problem was that I didn't commit enough in the early game to a specific line there.
Yeah.
I'm not sure. There might have been a way there to 10, but it was hard. We didn't see, we got no hang glider in that run. Didn't really see. I don't know.
Yeah.
The first one was hard, but these ones felt really breezy. This is the Stelle I'm used to here.
I also think that there's a lot of distraction when you're trying to talk and teach and stuff. You made,
for sure.
There was a lot of hem-haw decisions that are this might be a little stronger, but it cost all my gold, whatever. And when you snap make those decisions, they seem really strong. And when you sit and you have to think, especially when you verbalize, you lose kind of the gut check, and it becomes a little bit harder. So I think as soon as you went into just piloting your head down and my cast wasn't messing with your game, the play got so much smoother. So I think that's part of the problem.
Yeah, for sure. For sure, it felt much better. But how was it for you? Was it fun too? I couldn't hear you, right? So
yeah, it was incredibly fun. It was a blast. It was such a good learning experience. There were lots of little things in there I didn't know. I didn't know the joystick trick. That you got to keep it down at bronze. Yeah, it was really fun for me. How was it for chat? 25 points. He got 25 points. It was 5 win on day 1 and then 2 10 winners. People were asking. Yeah,
Yeah, the first run was atrocious, but these two were really smooth.
yeah.
I think we lost one in the last. Yeah, we had
One
111.
loss and 2 runs.
Yeah.
All right, man. Well, that
runs
was go
great.
overall. The first run was just really rough. Unfortunately, he got into Molten Ball Blaster early and got the board well put together, but then faced 3 monsters in a row. The whole point of that build is that you trade the ability to pivot easily for guaranteed early wins, but his matchups were just nuts. And then you're in a board that doesn't pivot as well. And so then he kept seeing slight upgrade boards instead of like the big leaps that he wanted to see on day 6, and had to like decide to move into them because he knew his build wasn't going to go the distance. And that kind of ran out and depleted the funds and made it harder to like grab a big pivot that can make it the full way. Got a space laser finally up and running and had to go perfect. Was about to turn the corner with the shiny enchant the very next day, and went up against a double shielded armor core on day 10 that got over 20,000 hit points in the like 8 seconds or so it took space laser to cast. It was the most cursed matchups that I think I'd ever seen. And so it ended in a 5-win run. He then went on to vindicate himself with a 10 winners in 11, and then went on to rub it in with a perfect 10 win. So some really good learning, some really good play. It just the same curse happened to Walter, but at least the last tournament you were able to do as many runs as you could in the 4-hour time frame. This was just 3 runs only. So Walter got cursed by being on my stream, also got a 5-win on day 1. I wonder if I do this again, if we see it a 3rd time, then it's officially the GooseFathr curse. So sorry for jinxing your run there, Sixten.